Network. Stations, if you encounter any technical issues related to this Georgia Show broadcast, please call our trouble hotline at 336-831-0861. Mark, 2 minutes until airtime for this basketball game broadcast. Your next time cue will come with 1 minute until airtime for this basketball game broadcast. Stations, we are coming up on 1 minute until airtime. 1 minute in 5, 4, 3, 2, mark. 1 minute, stations. 1 minute until airtime for this basketball game broadcast. Studio producers, when you hear touchdown, please start your archive recording. Coming up on 30 seconds until airtime. Mark, 30 seconds. Your next and final time cue will be with 15 seconds until airtime. Touchdown! Studios, start your archive recording. Coming up on 15 seconds until airtime. Mark, 15 seconds, stations. Have fun.
The following is a presentation of the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network. Commit to the G.
Deep straightaway three. Oh, net! Hesitates, now drives. Wide open land. Good! 1.9 to go. Wheeler's done it again. 1.9. Walton to Wheeler to the basket. Layup. Good! He got it to spin off the front of the rim. To Brown. A driving lane. Good! Around the rim. Count it and a foul. Wheeler with 6 on the clock. Oh, to Edwards. Two-handed. High flying above the rim. Jamaroon. Wow.
On the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network, this is Georgia Basketball. Brought to you by Grindhouse Killer Burgers. Live fast, eat well with Grindhouse Killer Burgers. And Piedmont Healthcare, the official healthcare provider for the Georgia Bulldogs. This is the Grindhouse Killer Burgers Bulldog Courtside Show. Now, to courtside, along with Chuck Dowdle, here's the voice of the Bulldogs, Scott Howard.
Hi again, everyone, and welcome to another afternoon of Georgia Bulldogs basketball. Today from Stegman Coliseum in Athens, Georgia, where the 14-10 Bulldogs will finish off their regular season with a game against the SEC's regular season champions, the Alabama Crimson Tide. Georgia was hammered by Alabama in its previous meeting this season. The Tide shot a rip-roaring 64% at home, connecting on 18 three-pointers in that 115-82 rout. It was the most points surrendered by Georgia in the three-point era and the fourth most points given up in school history. It's been a week since the Dogs last played, losing at home last Saturday by 21 to South Carolina, so safe to say the Bulldogs need a better showing against the SEC's best this afternoon to secure happier thoughts going into the postseason next week in Nashville. Georgia and Alabama are two of only 6 conference teams to play a full 18-game SEC schedule this season, so we'll see their final regular season game come coming up in less than 30 minutes as Georgia hosts Alabama this afternoon. The Bulldogs Courtside Show is brought to you by Grindhouse Killer Burgers. Live fast, eat well with Grindhouse Killer Burgers. Our producer-engineer is Adam Gillespie. Zach Jewell is our network studio host and producer, and the scrupulously sedulous Chuck Dowdle will join me next here on the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
From a tiny blueberry to a towering Georgia pine, Georgia's agriculture products are as special and diverse as its people. Georgia Farm Bureau members stand for the values that bring Georgia together. We stand for strong communities and Georgia-grown products. We stand for family, faith, and keeping promises. We stand for you and your community. We stand together. Join today at gfb.org.
We are a Farm Bureau.
Love getting prices that are lower than low on food that's fresher than fresh? Then shop at Kroger. We give you more ways to save on the fresh you love with tools like the Kroger app, where you can find personalized coupons on top of weekly sales, giving you prices that are lower than the everyday low. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Get more ways to save at the Buy 5 or More Save $1 each sale. Just buy 5 or more participating items and save $1 each with card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
This is Georgia Basketball, sponsored by Progressive. Drivers who save with Progressive save over $750 on average.
Libman makes a difference. The Libman Mop Crew is part of our winning team. The Libman Mop Crew makes sure the hardwood is clean and safe for players every game at Stegman Coliseum. No matter what kind of flooring you have at your home court, Libman has the tools to keep it clean. Our mops, brooms, and brushes are proudly family-made in the USA. Visit Libman.com to see our whole lineup and for a store locator. That's Libman.com.
Get ready for tip-off at the UGA Bookstore, featuring the best Bulldogs gifts and apparel. Shop all the great brands at the UGA Bookstore like Nike, Tommy Bahama, Vineyard Vines, and Southern Tide. The UGA Bookstore is the exclusive home of the UGA 10 collection by Peter Millar. The UGA Bookstore in the heart of campus next to the Tate Student Center. Shop online 24/7 at UGABookstore.com. The UGA Bookstore, it's where dogs shop.
Welcome back inside the Grindhouse Killer Burgers Courtside Show, brought to you by Grindhouse Killer Burgers. Live fast, eat well with Grindhouse Killer Burgers. Scott Howard, Chuck Dowdle, Adam Gillespie here at Stegman Coliseum. Chuck, we've reached the end of the road in the regular season. We're going to get all 18 games in the regular season, and as we said in the
Alabama,
open, there's only 6 schools in the conference that made it this far, and Georgia is one of them. And certainly we were happy that we were able to get to this point.
We are. You know what? And that's due to the great work of Ron Corson and his staff, and the staff here in the athletic department at the University of Georgia. They've been so good throughout this pandemic, not just with basketball, but with football, with softball, with baseball. I mean, they've just done a fantastic job of being able to answer the bell for the SEC at each and every step along the way. And I just, I'm proud of them, proud of this athletic department. Greg McGarity, Josh Brooks, what they've done has been amazing.
Well, this is the game that was paired up by the Southeastern Conference. Georgia lost its game with Texas A&M, as did a lot of other schools. They missed 8 games in a row, didn't play at all in the month of February. So we get paired up with Alabama, the regular season SEC champions, and today also the University of Georgia expanding the seating, not expanding the seating, but expanding the number of people allowed in the building, as welcoming more students in the building today. So we may have even a little more atmosphere in the building.
Well, I think we'll certainly have more noise. Those students will answer the bell. They'll be here, and I know they'll be loud trying to help these dogs. And Scott, look, I know we lost by 45. That's a hard number to say. But we lost by that margin over in Tuscaloosa just a few weeks ago. But I don't think that's any indication of what will happen here today, because quite honestly, look, the Alabama Crimson Tide, they've already cut down nets, for the regular season. And personally, I think that's because I'm not sure right now that they're the best team in the conference. In fact, if I had to vote I'd think right now that Arkansas is playing the best basketball of any team in the conference. But these guys, they're okay too. So
yeah, not bad.
So we got our work cut out for us, but it's going to start with the opening tip, and it's going to be all about attitude.
Alabama SEC champions for the 8th time in school history and for the first time since 2002. And Dog fans, the official Georgia basketball game program is fully digital and free to access. The paperback game program no longer offered, so log on to GeorgiaDogs.com this afternoon, GeorgiaDogs.com/digital to get everything you need to know heading into today's matchup against Alabama. That's GeorgiaDogs.com/digital. We'll check in with Zach Jewell. He's in the Piedmont Healthcare Network studios. Get an update on what else is going on in college basketball today. That's coming up next here on the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
Northside Hospital reminds you to stay safe and stay healthy during the pandemic. It's easy to do a few simple things every day. Wash your hands frequently and disinfect hard surfaces in your home. Don't touch your eyes, nose, and mouth with unwashed hands. Always wear a mask in public and wash your hands before and after removing your mask. And if you're in a crowded place, stay at least 6 feet apart from others. For more information and CDC safety guidelines, go to northside.com/COVID-19.
Make your first play of the season a smart one. Get a fast and easy sports physical right around the corner from Piedmont Quick Care at Walgreens. With 27 locations offering extended hours and most open 7 days a week, you can book online to get in, get out, and get on your way to a championship year. Visit piedmont.org/UGA to schedule a sports physical today. Patient care services provided by Piedmont Healthcare. Piedmont Quick Care at Walgreens. One stop to better.
This is Georgia Basketball, sponsored by Progressive. Drivers who save with Progressive save over $750 on average.
Now more than ever, it's important to support our local businesses, whether it's your favorite pizza place or your neighborhood barber. That's why I'm a proud member of Georgia's Own Credit Union. Georgia's Own has been serving our local community for more than 85 years. Whether they're saving you money on a checking account or credit card, or supporting the people, places, and teams that we've grown to love, Georgia's Own can't be beat. To learn more, visit their website at georgiasown.org. I'm Chuck Dowdle, and I'm one of Georgia's Own.
Hey, it's your home, and I need to ask you a few favors. In the kitchen, there's a spider stuck between the window and the screen, and I know it's dead, and technically it's outside, but it's still freaking me out. Can you flick it out or something? Also, just to save some money, and it's super easy, could you bundle your home and car insurance with Geico? Last thing, could you take the holiday decorations down? Yeah, I'm one of those.
Geico. For bundling made easy, go to geico.com today.
Welcome back to the Grindhouse Killer Burgers Bulldog Courtside Show. Now scores and highlights from around college basketball. Let's go inside the Piedmont Healthcare Network studios. Here's Zach Jewell.
And welcome inside the Piedmont Healthcare Studios. Zach Jewell here with you to take you around college basketball here on the last Saturday of the regular season, starting in the SEC. 2 games underway right now. First up, the noon game. They got 5:55 to go in the second half. Kentucky leads South Carolina at Rupp Arena 81-52, and at halftime in Auburn, Mississippi State leads at Auburn 34-32. Still to come later on, LSU will visit Missouri at 3. Number 12 Arkansas hosts Texas A&M. They'll look to play only their second game since January 30th. That tip-off scheduled at 5 p.m. And lastly, Ole Miss will host Vanderbilt at 7. To the top 25 now. 2 games underway at the moment. 11th ranked Florida State trails at Notre Dame 65-54. They got 9:24 to go in the second half. And number 20 Loyola Chicago leads Indiana State 42-26. That's the semifinal of the MVC tournament. Again, number 20 Loyola Chicago 42-26 over Indiana State. 1:06 to go in the first half there. 2 more games will start alongside us. Number 6 West Virginia hosts 17th ranked Oklahoma State. And number 23, Purdue hosts Indiana at 2:30. Number 10, Villanova visits Providence. A pair of games at 4 p.m. Number 7, Ohio State hosts 4th-ranked Illinois. And number 21, Virginia visits Louisville. And we go back to the Big East for our final game of the night when Butler visits 14th-ranked Creighton at 5 p.m. We'll keep you up to date on all that throughout the afternoon as many teams around the country jockey for seeding in next week's conference tournaments. But now we turn back to our game. It's 15 minutes to tip-off presented by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Coming up next, Scott sits down with Coach Green to preview today's matchup. That's next here on the Bulldog Sports Network.
Love getting prices that are lower than low on food that's fresher than fresh? Then shop at Kroger. We give you more ways to save on the fresh you love with tools like the Kroger app, where you can find personalized coupons on top of weekly sales, giving you prices that are lower than the everyday low. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Right now, you can save on strawberries. They're fresh and juicy, and 16-ounce cartons are 3 for only $5 with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Georgia Farm Bureau Insurance was created in 1959 to provide financial protection for farmers and rural communities. Over the years, it has grown to protect all Georgians through affordable home, auto, and life insurance, helping Georgia build a strong agriculture industry and keeping the promises we made to our members. Our agents and members stand together for the values that make Georgia special: faith, family, and community. We stand together. We stand for you.
We are a Farm Bureau.
Follow the Dogs on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Georgia Basketball. More Bulldogs hoops in a moment after this from your local station.
Hey Bulldog fans, Coach Smart here. My friends at Georgia United Credit Union now offer Georgia Bulldogs Visa debit cards. Now you can show your team pride everywhere you go and spend. Pick your favorite design and score yours today. Georgia United makes banking easy, friendly, and smart for busy members like myself. Attack the day with a free checking account that pays big interest. It's the smart choice. Visit at gucu.org/Go Dogs for important account information. Insured by NCUA. Georgia United, the official credit union of Georgia Athletics.
At Subway restaurants, deals are delicious. And right now, you can choose from 2 great deals on delicious meals. Get a 6-inch cold cut combo, spicy Italian or Black Forest ham, plus chips and a 20-ounce drink for just $6. Or choose a 6-inch chicken and bacon ranch melt, sweet onion chicken teriyaki, or steak and cheese, plus chips and a 20-ounce drink for just $7. Either way, you get a great deal on a delicious meal. Only at Subway restaurants. Limited time only at participating restaurants. Additional charge for extras, plus applicable tax. No additional discounts or coupons may be applied.
We're getting closer to tip-off. Time now for a visit with the Dogs head coach, Tom Crean. With Coach Crean, here's Scott Howard.
Back here at Stegman Coliseum as we get ready for Georgia and Alabama today, it's time to catch up with Bulldogs head coach Tom Crean. Coach, you haven't played a game since last Saturday, so you had extra time, I guess, in the week. Take us through your week and what you guys did as you get ready for Alabama today.
Well, there's no question it's abnormal, and our guys have been anxious to play for a while. But I think we've done a good job of really diving into what we needed to get better at, get our pace back where it needed to be, offensive rebounding in the perimeter, making sure that we're understanding what we're trying to run, get some things that get more ball movement, really get better defensively, especially in not overhelping situations, guard the ball, but then not overhelp, all those different things. So it's been a good week inside of that, and we're anxious to go. I know we are.
Did you guys have any time off?
Oh, yeah. Tuesday we were off, but we also take time. You know, we don't practice that long. So we might be here, but, I mean, our live practice part is not enormous. But we have to continue to get better. But I think they look good. They should be fresh. I mean, it's been a week. So you always worry about that, especially at the start of the game.
Have you felt good about the way this team has learned the concepts of how you want the team to play basketball?
Well, I think at times, yeah, it always makes it look a lot better when shots are going in. But we just have to continue to understand how to win every game. You know, whether it's with threes, whether it's with post-ups, you know, getting to the foul line, driving, getting in the paint. That's going to be a recipe no matter what. But I think we're getting there. I mean, they've definitely gotten better. You don't have some of these wins that we've had without improvement. And we've had a week to get better, and now we're going against the best team in the league.
Is there good spirit leading up to this one today?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And it's been that way all week. It's a very, very resilient group and hardworking group in that sense. And there's been no bad days. Everybody comes in and they're ready to go.
Do you go back to that first meeting with Alabama a lot in your preparation for getting ready for this one?
Yeah, how we gave up the threes and then where we let opportunities slip by taking quick shots or threes that we didn't need to take inside of the game. Those type of things too. You know, that's a big part of it. So to me, you look at where they're at now. We're looking at what we want to try to take advantage of, but you have to show a little bit to see how open those guys were, all right, and to see where we squandered some chances, especially in the first half and in the second half when the game was at 12 early in the second half.
When guys are getting open threes, is it just missed assignments? Is it getting lost in transition? What are you seeing?
Well, that can happen both, but it's really not controlling the ball and then everybody feeling like they've got overhelp on the ball. That's what we can't do. I mean, defending the ball is numero uno, job number one, basically on anybody's team. Right? Can you defend the ball? And if you can defend the ball and not get into overhelps, then it cuts a lot of that down. But we got scrambling too much, and it hurt us.
How does your roster look today?
I think it's good. Everybody's available and ready to go, and we may try some different things today, but we're ready to go.
All right, Coach, thanks for your time. Good luck against Alabama. We'll talk to you after the game.
All right, thank you, Scott. Go Dogs.
That's Coach Tom Crean. Georgia and Alabama are coming up here at Stegman Coliseum. We'll give you the starting lineups right after this on the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
From a tiny blueberry to a towering Georgia pine, Georgia's agriculture products are as special and diverse as its people. Georgia Farm Bureau members stand for the values that bring Georgia together. We stand for strong communities and Georgia-grown products. We stand for family, faith, and keeping promises. We stand for you and your community. We stand together. Join today at gfb.org.
We are a Farm Bureau.
The SEC taught us that there's nothing like game day in Athens. And if you're all about the black and red, there's nothing like having the Georgia Bulldogs Visa check card from Regions in your wallet. As the official bank of the SEC, Regions is here to help you pull for your team with everything you've got. To order your card, visit regions.com/GoDogs. Regions, member FDIC. Terms, conditions, and fees may apply.
This is Georgia Basketball, sponsored by Progressive. Drivers who save with Progressive save over $750 on average.
These days I'm spending a lot more time at home, which means I need ways to easily control my comfort. And here's an insider tip. If you're a Georgia Power residential customer, you may be eligible for up to a $75 instant rebate on a smart thermostat. Here's how. Georgia Power's online marketplace features thermostats from brands like Google Nest, Honeywell, and Ecobee, as well as a variety of LEDs and smart home products like smart speakers, Wi-Fi routers, indoor cameras, and more. Just visit the site and start shopping. Shop now at GeorgiaPowerMarketplace.com.
Libman makes a difference. The Libman Mop Crew is part of our winning team. The Libman Mop Crew makes sure the hardwood is clean and safe for players every game at Stegman Coliseum. No matter what kind of flooring you have at your home court, Libman has the tools to keep it clean. Our mops, brooms, and brushes are proudly family-made in the USA. Visit Libman.com to see our whole lineup and for a store locator. That's Libman.com.
It's time for the Dogs to eat.
Beats Fagan. Windmill, lay in, good. Ty Fagan, dribble drive, scoop shot, good. Right down the lane, he got him on the crossover. Rebound, Kamara leans in and scores with the catch. Wheeler down the lane, drops it up, but a bounce to Kamara. He flushes with two hands. Finds a spot on the floor and drains. A 25-footer, still by Brown. It could be a little shoot time with a two-handed dunk.
The Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network. Welcome to live play-by-play coverage of Dogs basketball. Georgia basketball is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Piedmont Healthcare, the official healthcare provider for the Georgia Bulldogs. Dos Equis. Cheer on your favorite team with the Dos Equis. Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. And by State Farm. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Now, alongside Chuck Dowdle, let's go courtside and join the voice of the Bulldogs, Scott Howard.
Continuing with the Grindhouse Killer Burgers courtside show here at Stegman Coliseum, Georgia and Alabama coming up momentarily. We have a little bit of extra time today with the different tip time from the TV network that's in the house today. So got a little more time to fill before we get this one started. Bulldog fans, make sure you tune in tomorrow at midnight on WSB TV Channel 2. You can catch an all-new episode of Georgia All Access presented by Georgia Power. This week on the show, a sit-down with UGA golf coach Chris Hack and Josh Brewer, men's and women's golf coaches at University of Georgia. Also, former Bulldogs golfer and PGA Tour champion Kevin Kistner will join the Shock and Ship podcast. Then we'll have highlights from this week in Georgia athletics, and there's a ton of stuff going on this weekend on campus. That's Georgia All Access presented by Georgia Power tomorrow at midnight, WSB TV Channel 2, or anytime next week on demand at georgiadogs.com. Let's give you the starting lineups for today. First for Georgia, the Bulldogs with a record of 14-10 on the year, 7-10 in conference play, coming off that loss to South Carolina last Saturday. Back at it here for the first time in a week. Tom Crean in his third season at Georgia, a record of 41-47 overall, 15-40 in the SEC. His 21st year as a head coach, approaching 400 career coaching victories. 397 and 278 is his all-time coaching record. The five that he will send to the floor to start the ball game this afternoon: Xavier Wheeler, 5'10 sophomore from Houston, Texas. He's the Dogs' leading scorer. He leads the team in assists. In fact, last week he set the UGA single-season assist record with his 170th assist of the year, and he is atop the conference in that category as well. Justin Kier is in the starting five today, 6'5", 190-pounder. He's a graduate transfer from George Mason from Grottoes, Virginia, averaging 9.5 points, 3.7 rebounds. He is second on the team with 56 assists. He comes into this game second in the SEC in steals. Ty Fagan, a left-hander, 6'3", 195, a junior from Logtown, Georgia, averaging 9.5 points and 4.5 rebounds. Dogs need a good game from him today. Ty has had no points in 3 of the last 7 games the Dogs have played. He went scoreless against Vanderbilt, Missouri, and South Carolina last Saturday. Toumani Camara, a left-hander from Brussels, Belgium, 6'8", 220. He is a sophomore. He is the Dogs' third leading scorer at just under 13 a game. He's the top rebounder on the team at 7.7 per contest, fourth in the SEC in rebounding. And P.J. Horn rounds out the starting five for the Bulldogs today. The 6'6", 230-pound graduate transfer from Virginia Tech. His hometown is Tifton, Georgia. Horn, the top three-point shooter on the team, 42 threes on the year. He shoots 37% from distance. He averages 8.5 points, 3.4 rebounds per contest. So for the Dogs, Wheeler, Kier, Fagan, Camara, and Horn. For Alabama, ranked number 8th in this week's AP poll, they are the SEC regular season champions for the 8th time in their school history. A record of 20-6 overall, 15-2 in the SEC. Their head coach is Nate Oates in his second season. A record of 36-21 and 23-12 in the SEC. His 6th year as a head coach overall. He spent the previous 4 years as a head coach at the University of Buffalo prior to his arrival in Tuscaloosa. His starting five today includes Herbert Jones, a 6'8 senior guard from Greensboro, Alabama. Does it all for Alabama. He's fourth in scoring. He leads the team in rebounding. He leads the team in assists, steals, and block shots. Jordan Bruner, who did not play against the Dogs in the first meeting this season between these two teams, is back on the floor. A 6'10 graduate transfer from Yale, a former first-team All-Ivy League standout. He's a forward from Columbia, South Carolina, missed 9 games with a knee injury. He averages 7 points and 5 rebounds per contest and gives the Tide a little bit of size. Jaden Shackelford is a 6'3", 200-pound sophomore guard from Hesperia, California. He's the leading scorer for the Crimson Tide, 14.5 points per ball game, averages 4 rebounds per game as well. Josh Primo is a 6'6", 190-pound freshman guard from Toronto, Canada. He averages 8 points, 3.3 rebounds, and he had 19 in the game against Georgia back on February 13th. And John Petty will round out Alabama's starting five. Petty, a standout performer, fourth-year player at Alabama from Huntsville, Alabama. He's a 6'5", 195-pound senior. He's the school's all-time leading three-point shooter, and he's made the most threes in the SEC this year. He's got 62 coming into today's game. He averages almost 13 points a game, 5 rebounds per contest, second on the team in steals. Herbert Jones, Jordan Bruner, Josh Primo, Jaden Shackelford, and John Petty. That's your starting five for Alabama. The Bulldogs and the Crimson Tide are coming up here at Stegman Coliseum this afternoon. Let's pause 10 seconds. Station identification on the Bulldogs Sports Network. We are just minutes from tip-off, round 2 between the Dogs and the Tide. We'll have it for you when we come back here on the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
Long-lasting protection against COVID-19 is crucial to a safe living and work environment. That's why Georgia Athletics has chosen Cleanwell Services as their official disinfection partner. The trained technicians at Cleanwell use a CDC and EPA-approved nanotechnology-based cleaner that sticks to surfaces for an industry-leading protection lasting beyond 30 days. The Bulldogs trust Cleanwell, and if your business wants to keep your employees and customers safe, you also need to trust Cleanwell. Visit cleanwellsafe.com to get started today.
Get ready for tip-off at the UGA Bookstore, featuring the best Bulldogs gifts and apparel. Shop all the great brands at the UGA Bookstore like Nike, Tommy Bahama, Vineyard Vines, and Southern Tide. The UGA Bookstore is the exclusive home of the UGA 10 collection by Peter Millar. The UGA Bookstore in the heart of campus next to the Tate Student Center. Shop online 24/7 at UGABookstore.com. The UGA Bookstore, it's where dogs shop.
This is Georgia Basketball, sponsored by Progressive. Drivers who save with Progressive save over $750 on average.
At Community Coffee, we've been making great tasting coffee for over 100 years. But what makes us different isn't just how long we've been around, it's how far we're willing to go in pursuit of the perfect cup. We select only the finest beans and use over 4 generations of family roasting experience to give you the richest, most delicious coffee around. Find Community Coffee at your local grocery store or visit communitycoffee.com to order some today.
Now more than ever, it's important to support our local businesses, whether it's your favorite pizza place or your neighborhood barber. That's why I'm a proud member of Georgia's Own Credit Union. Georgia's Own has been serving our local community for more than 85 years. Whether they are saving you money on a checking account or credit card, or supporting the people, places, and teams that we've grown to love, Georgia's Own can't be beat. To learn more, visit their website at georgiasown.org. I'm Chuck Dowdle, and I'm one of Georgia's Own.
Well, the lights are out at Stegman Coliseum as the starting lineups will be announced here to a little bit of a larger crowd than what we have been accustomed to in this pandemic year.
Yeah.
It's time for our Ford Keys to the Game, presented by the Ford F-150. More than a truck, it's your starting point guard. You can learn more at buyfordnow.com, then see your local Ford dealer and score a great offer on the official truck of the Georgia Bulldogs, the F-150. Now, once again, ladies and gentlemen, the official Chuck of the Georgia Bulldogs with our Forward Keys to the Game. Here's Chuck Dowdle.
Well, Scott, I'm not our starting point guard. We can
Thank goodness.
We can be thankful for that.
We could use you in the post, though.
I don't know about that. But key number one, no, N-O, that's none, nada, open threes for the Tide. They hit 60% behind the arc against us in Tuscaloosa, and primarily that was because they shot them all by themselves. There wasn't a dog in sight. We have got to defend behind the arc. That cannot happen today. We've got to communicate on defense, and in transition, for Pete's sake, get back on defense. Then two, no droughts. We are too often prone to these scoreless droughts of 5, 6, 7 minutes. That cannot happen against these guys. Alabama, trust me on this. If you do that against them, they'll run away and hide. And then finally, if we're fortunate enough to get a lead, be ready to withstand a run. Do not doubt me on this. Alabama will make a run if they get behind. Ask Missouri.
All right, there you go. They will make it. They didn't win the league for nothing.
That's exactly. They earned it.
15-2 coming into today in this final regular season game in conference play. Our opening tip is going to be brought you by Northside Hospital in Atlanta. Their surgeons have decades of experience with routine and complex surgeries, and today Northside Hospital leads the Southeast in innovative procedures performing nearly 40,000 robotic surgeries since 2005. Their confidence and compassion await you in Atlanta. You can learn more at northside.com. Georgia huddles up after the lineups were introduced here in the building. Georgia in their silver or gray uniforms today. Here at home, and Alabama will be all in crimson with white trim. There's a lot of Alabama folks in the building today, too, Chuck. I've noticed that.
You know what? Let me tell you something. That's one of the things about when your team gets really good in basketball.
Yes.
You know,
they start to travel, don't they?
Yeah. You know, they'll start to travel and follow them. And look, I'm looking forward to that day here at Georgia, and I don't think it's that far down the road because as we continue to get better, and this team has already taken a step forward this year, and I think we'll see another bigger step forward even next year.
Our officials today are Pat Adams, Terry Oglesby, and Patrick Evans. It'll be Kamara and Jones in the center circle to jump it off to get this one started. The opening tap controlled by Alabama, and we are underway in Athens here this afternoon. Crimson Tide will work to our left from our vantage point. Courtside here at Stegman Coliseum. Dogs open up in a man-to-man defense. Petty with a basketball on the dribble. Reverses top of the key. They go to Big Bruner. Feed it inside to Primo. He runs through the lane, guarded by Kyer, knocks the ball away from behind. Primo chases it down in the corner. Now attacks with 4 on the shot clock. He pivots in the lane, throws it up with one hand. That's no good. The rebound touched by Fagan, touched by Bruner, but the official says touch last by Fagan in Georgia. It'll be Bama basketball.
I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I wasn't sure either.
It ricocheted a couple of times quickly right in front of him. And Herbert Jones has to call timeout. He wanted to inbound, and Georgia wouldn't let him.
Well,
so to beat the 5 count, he calls a time 33 seconds into the ballgame.
If this first 30 seconds is any indication of the kind of defense Georgia's going to play today, Alabama will be in for a much tougher sledding than they had over at Tuscaloosa. Because I got to tell you something, they were deep in the shot clock when they finally got a look.
Nate Oates uses a 30-second timeout here. Just a little more than 30 seconds into the ball game. Bulldog fans, Georgia basketball is driven by BMW. Great performance on and off the track or on or off the court. That's why your local Atlanta area BMW centers are the official luxury vehicle of Georgia Athletics. Visit BMWATL.com for details and go Dogs. That might be one of the first times I've ever seen a timeout called before anybody scores.
Well, you know what?
It's a scoreless ball game, and we've had one timeout already burned.
I credit Nate Oates for that. He clearly saw, what Georgia's doing defensively and said, hey, wait, whoa, we got to get this straightened out.
They also sub Javon Quinterly into the ball game, the sophomore transfer from Villanova. So he enters the ball game a little more than 30 seconds in. He inbound the basketball. Dogs with a takeaway. Quinterly whacks Fagan in the mouth, and they call a foul on the Dogs. We had Horn and Fagan guarding the basketball, and the Dogs get whistled for a foul, and that's on P.J. Horn. But Fagan got the worst of that. Alabama will inbound again to Jones. He runs down the lane, literally. He's called for traveling.
Yeah,
they wave off the basket. No points for Jones on the travel.
Yeah, he took that little hop all by himself before he put the ball in the air.
Dogs finally get to touch it on offense. We work down to the far right end of the floor here at Stegman Coliseum. No score yet. Georgia and Alabama almost a full minute in. Wheeler will attack. Cross-court pass into the corner. Horn misses a 3. Rebound Quinterly in Alabama. The Tide brings it into the front court. Working right to left. Jones has it into the corner. Goes back up the wing to Quinterly. He's guarded by Xavier. Quinterly screened by Big Bruner. They reverse him the ball. The 6'10 launches one from the top of the key. Missed the 3 around the rim and out.
Yeah, he missed it because P.J. was right in his face.
Kamara rebounds for the Dogs. Still no score. 90 seconds and counting into the ball game. Georgia with the possession. Wheeler dribbles slowly on the logo, middle of the floor. Drops it off to his right to Kyer. Kyer with a left-hand dribble across the top of the key. Petty goes with him defensively. Now we give it to Fagan off the right wing. Behind a screen from Horn. Stumbles a little bit. Maintains the dribble. Now attacks. Runs right through Primo. Misses the running layup. The tip taken away by Alabama. Tide with a basketball. Dogs with a steal on the corner. That's taken by Kyer. He stumbles a little bit. Tries to throw the ball to Kamara. It was an errant pass. It hit the underside of the backboard and ricochets down to Alabama. Dogs trying to run the break, but it was a sloppy attempt. Alabama with the ball. Lob pass to Petty off his fingertips, but he gets it before it goes out of bounds. He's matched up with Wheeler, and he'll take Xavier into the paint and drive in for the first points of the ball game on a short little one-hander right in front of the basket.
Yeah, and short was what happened there. I mean, Xavier was just not quite to the height that.
Dogs with a pass off the baseline. The deflection by Alabama, but goes to Kamara. He missed the lay-in the air. Rebound Alabama. Jones has it, works against Tumani. Under the basket, they work it around top of the key. Petty, 3-ball good. Petty's got both baskets for Alabama thus far, and it's 5-0 Crimson Tide. 16:59 on the clock. We've already had an Alabama timeout in this ball game.
And not coincidence at the three, wide open by himself. That's the way they swung the ball neatly, and that's what got him the open three.
Alabama defends Kamara. He falls to the floor, rolls with a basketball, bounces it out to Fagan on the right wing, drives to the right edge of the lane and pops a short little one-hander. Just jumped in the air and pushed it up. He shot-putted it right in there for the first points for the Dogs. They go to Ty Fagan. It's 5-2 Alabama. Primo down the lane, reaching with the left hand, trying to lay it in from the left side. Short rebound Alabama, or rather Kyer for Georgia. He drops it off to Kamara, coming in from the left side. Tumani will lay it in. He got fouled. They'll count the basket and send Kamara to the free throw line after he got whacked in the head.
That was the perfect way that you run a break down the floor on a steal. He took the ball right to the middle, so he had guys on both wings. And when he saw Tumani starting to cut, he laid him a perfect pass, the bounce pass, and they had no choice but to try to block it. When they did, they fouled him.
3-point play opportunity for the Dogs. Kamara at 6'8", to the line, 64% foul shooter. He misses it off the rim. Rebound goes to Alabama. So it's 5-4, Crimson Tide. Quinterly handles the basketball for Alabama. Dribbles on the right side of the floor. Now Tax passes it out front to Shackelford. He had trouble with the pass, but he is able to maintain possession. Now Alabama on the drive with Keon Ellis in the paint. Throw it back out front. 6 on the shot clock. Shackelford runs from almost half court. High floater off the glass, won't go. Off the front of the rim. Rebound Horn to Wheeler to Johnson on the run. KD drives, and he's called for a charge as the basket falls through. Wave off the shot. Give KD Johnson an offensive foul.
That is a horrible, not a bad, that is a horrible call. No defender was established. That was just Tom Crean is furious, and he wants to talk. Listen, that was not a bad, I'm talking about an atrocious call.
And he wants to talk to the official that made the call. He had one of the other officials first, and he requested the other guy. And Patrick Evans goes over and talks to Crean. I'm sure the coach didn't get a lot of satisfaction out of the explanation.
Oh, my goodness.
5-4, Alabama leads with a timeout here at Stegman. 15:42 on the clock here in half number one. We'll step aside for just a moment. Back in a moment on the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
Core Power's the official protein drink of Georgia basketball. Fueled by 26 grams of high-quality protein, your workout will never go to waste. Work hard, recover harder with Core Power, the official protein drink of Georgia basketball.
These days I'm spending a lot more time at home, which means I need ways to easily control my comfort. And here's an insider tip. If you're a Georgia Power residential customer, you may be eligible for up to a $75 instant rebate on a smart thermostat. Here's how. Georgia Power's online marketplace features thermostats from brands like Google Nest, Honeywell, and Ecobee, as well as a variety of LEDs and smart home products like smart speakers, Wi-Fi routers, indoor cameras, and more. Just visit the site and start shopping. Shop now at GeorgiaPowerMarketplace.com.
Core Power's the official protein drink of Georgia basketball. Fueled by 26 grams of high-quality protein, your workout will never go to waste. Work hard, recover harder with Core Power, the official protein drink of Georgia basketball.
Everybody remembers the amazing light show last year when we ran the Fighting Irish out of Sanford Stadium that made Georgia the envy of college football. I'm Kenny Mullins, business manager for the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 613. Every light in Sanford Stadium was installed by an IBEW electrician. We also light up the practice facility and many other buildings on campus. Learn more about the IBEW at IBEW613.org. Go Dogs!
Alabama with a 1-point lead over the Dogs, 5-4. The first media timeout, 15:42 remaining here in the first half. It's time to go inside the huddle with Chuck Dowdle, brought to you by Georgia's own credit union, banking on purpose. Chuck, is the coach still mad after that last call?
Yeah, oh yeah. It's going to take him a while to cool down, but I will say this. He's proud of the defense. The guys have come out of the blocks playing. They're playing good defense against a team that you better be playing defense against, or you'll find yourself down double digits in a hurry. So we got to keep up the defensive effort. We got to understand that officials are going to make mistakes, some a little more atrocious than others. But when they do, you've got to shake it off and play through it.
Nate Oates has gone to his Alabama bench very early in this contest, and he'll stick with that. He's got Keon Ellis getting set to inbound the basketball along with Javon Quinterly. James Rojas is on the floor, Jawan Gary, and Jaden Shackelford. Alabama with a basketball and a 1-point lead. The Dogs go with Wheeler, Johnson, Kyer, Horn, and Kamara. Quinterly tried to bounce it around Horn, who deflected the ball, and Kamara comes up with a steal. Feeds it to Wheeler, drops it off to Kamara, reverse lay-in, rolls off the front of the iron, no good, rolled away for Tumani of point blank under the basket. We couldn't get it to drop.
He's missed two like that.
Alabama attacks from the right corner. Shackelford
there
called for a charge. Kamani, or Tumani got over there to take the charge.
Scott, that's the make good. That's the make good. Because if you were going to call that other one on KD Johnson on the other end, you had to call that.
Dogs will have the ball, still down 1, 5-4. Different official made that call. Patrick Evans made the one against Georgia. Pat Adams
but Pat
made
Adams
that one.
knew that other one was bad.
Here's Tumani. Kamara tried a spin move, lost the handle. Rojas comes up with a loose ball. Alabama runs the floor. Gary's jump pass deflected by Johnson, taken away by the Dogs. We go the other direction. Kyer through the lane, kick out Horn for three. It's good. Scana Energy three-pointer. P.J. Horn gives the Dogs the lead at the 14:43 mark. It's 7-5 Georgia.
Well, we are
Dogs with another steal. Here's KD to the rack, and he gets up and over the iron for a two-handed flush. Dogs 9-5 now. Alabama basketball in the front court. Jones feeds Rojas in the corner. Gives Horn a head fake. We switch defensively. Kamara. Rojas misses the lay-in. Left it short off the front of the rim. Rebound Dogs. Wheeler flies up the floor. Kick out to Johnson. Holds it on the wing. Cross court. Overhead pass to Kyer. Wide open three. Justin missed it too deep. Off the rim. Rebound Alabama. We need shots like that to drop. Shackelford with the ball off the left wing for the Crimson Tide. Works above the arc. Feeds to his left. Ellis. Through the lane. Stretch layup. Won't go. Rolled over the iron. Alabama got the rebound with Gary, though. He just muscled it away. Missed the putback. Another offensive board. This time Rojas gets it to go on the lay-in.
Yeah, well, they just went after it on the boards aggressively 3 different times. We couldn't get the rebound.
Too many opportunities for Alabama that time. It's 9-7 Dogs. Wheeler on a slow dribble, high left wing, got a screen from Tumani, through the defenders, floater left hand, good, all net, right down the left edge of the lane. The little fellow with his first points of the ball game. It's 11-7 Dogs. Shackelford, quick three for Alabama, left corner, no good, 1 and out. Rebound Kyer, baseball pass into the front court to KD. Hesitates, he drives, there's another offensive foul. KD ran right into Shackelford, shoulder into the chest, that's 2 on Johnson. KD's got to disguise those a little bit better. He's making it too easy.
KD complaining to Pat Adams.
You know how there's a strike zone on a quarterback in football?
Yeah, you can't do it.
He
right.
landed right in the strike zone.
You had it right. He lowered that shoulder, and that was the dead giveaway.
A little more than 13 minutes to go in the half. Jones on a dribble drive, won't go. Tap in, won't go for Alabama. Another follow by the Bama Crimson Tide. Rolls around the iron. They missed 3 shots at it. Dogs finally get the ball back. Wheeler's going to take it all the way up, go under the basket, reverse lay-in, good by the sophomore from Houston. Xavier with his second basket of the game. It's 13-7 Georgia. Alabama attacks quickly. Petty drives all the way down inside the right block. Got in deep and scored it. Rattled and rolled home for him. John Petty with his 3rd bucket of the game. He's got 7. It's 13-9 Dogs. Dogs have Andrew Garcia in the ball game. Also Christian Brown for the first time in a long time. KD Johnson with a 3. High above with a Scana Energy 3 straight away, just a little to the right of the circle as Johnson knocks it down for his first points. And he's on the floor with 2 fouls, remember. Alabama attacks with Herbert Jones. Euro step through the defense and all the way to the right side of the rim where he lays it up for 2. Georgia will inbound it quickly. Wheeler will speed it into the front court and give it to Brown, who tried to go back to Wheeler in the corner. Ball deflected out of bounds high in the air by Alabama, and we'll get to a stopping point here in the first half. Up and down we go. 11:55 to go in the first half. Georgia has a 5-point lead on the SEC regular season champs. It's the Dogs 16, Alabama 11 on the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
Love getting prices that are lower than low on food that's fresher than fresh? Then shop at Kroger. We give you more ways to save on the fresh you love with tools like the Kroger app, where you can find personalized coupons on top of weekly sales, giving you prices that are lower than the everyday low. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Get more ways to save at the Buy 5 or More, Save $1 each sale. Just buy 5 or more participating items and save $1 each with card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Follow the Dogs on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Georgia Basketball. More Bulldogs hoops in a moment after this from your local station.
If you thought you saw the last of the double cheeseburger pizza from Papa John's, think again, because it's back again. And now they're debuting the sequel as a Papadilla, a quarter-pound of beef, zesty burger sauce and pickles on crispy flatbread crust. Again, one more time. Get a large double cheeseburger pizza for just $12, or a new double cheeseburger Papadilla for $6. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. Again. Not valid with discounts, fees, and taxes. Extra prices may vary.
At BMW, we made the ultimate range of SAVs. And because each of the 7 X-Range sports activity vehicles flawlessly balance dynamic power, spacious size, and sleek design, you can choose from a fleet that fits perfectly into your life. Like the versatile and bold X1, the unbelievably powerful X3, or the luxurious X7. No matter who you are, no matter where you're going, no matter what's next, there's an X to take you there.
Proud sponsor of Georgia Athletics. Visit BMWATL.com for great offers. Go Dogs!
Welcome back to the track meet here at Stegman Coliseum. Georgia and Alabama running it up and down the floor. It's 16-11 Dogs by 5 with 11:55 to go.
Where's Matthew Bowling when we need him, right?
Yeah, we could use it today. You are correct about that. Bulldog fans, if you need a home loan to fit your team and budget, Rocket can. Rocket Mortgage, proud mortgage partner of Georgia Athletics. Dogs with KD Johnson, who has 5 points to lead the Dogs in scoring. Wheeler has 4, Horn with 3, Fagan and Kamara each with 2. KD also with 2 fouls, but he stayed on the floor into the timeout. We'll see if he's going to stay there when we come out of the break here. I have a feeling he will stay on the bench for a little bit.
Well, one of the things that I liked about him taking that 3, KD's realizing, look, if I keep driving, I may keep picking up, because both fouls he's picked up have been offensive charges. So he stayed out, and I'd prefer to see him take some more threes. Knock him down. He can shoot.
37% on 3 shots this year. He's got 21 on the year. Of course, he didn't become eligible until Monday, January 11th for the Dogs. Georgia comes out of the huddle with Wheeler, Jackson Eder, P.J. Horn, Andrew Garcia, and Christian Brown, who's in the ballgame. Nagging injuries have kept Christian out of action for a while. Here's Eder falling down, reverse lay-in, scoop shot won't go. Garcia tried to get the rebound. It's tapped away by Alabama. Crimson Tide with the basketball, down 5. Primo, catch and shoot three. Too deep, back iron, no good. Rebound Eder for the Dogs. The sophomore from Woodstock pushes it into the front court to Wheeler. They run an alley-oop to Garcia. He just catches the pass and brings it down. Now tries to dribble his way into a shooting position around the basket. Ball is stripped out by Alabama's, I think, Alex Reese, the 6'9 senior forward, got a piece of that.
Yeah, Andrew got too deep underneath the glass.
Dogs will inbound with Wheeler, left of the bucket, down to our right. Xavier lobs it in. Horn and Jones tap it into the backcourt. It's chased down by Eder for the Dogs. Georgia has it with 10 seconds on the shot clock. Horn handoff to Eder, left side of the floor to Wheeler between the circles. Got a screen from Garcia. Wheeler slides to the elbow, feeds Garcia down on the right block. He slides for the lay-in, good.
Xavier took just enough time that their defense thought he was going to shoot it. They started toward him, and that opened up Garcia.
Dogs on a 14-4 run here. Alabama from the baseline misses a floater from Primo. And the rebound goes to Eder and the Dogs. Gives it to Wheeler.
Eder with great defense, too.
Wheeler attacks from the right wing through the lane, throws it up from the left side with the kiss, good above the square. It ricocheted right through the basket. The Dogs 20, Alabama 11. Alabama quickly feeds from the right corner to Primo, filled the lane, got in deep, takes the pass and lays it up right under the basket. Primo with his first points. Dogs offensively working quickly. Garcia trying to spin on the block against Reese, who put a body on him. Andrew lost the basketball over the end line. We turned it over. Garcia still wearing that face mask, that protective mask, after breaking his nose in the Tennessee game a few weeks back. And then he had a procedure done.
And it's affected him too, Scott. I mean, having to play with that.
He hasn't missed any games, but you're right. And he's having to wear that mask. Here's Petty for three. Missed it badly to the right. Hit the backboard, not the rim. Dogs rebound. Kamara trying to find the dribble. Almost lost the handle as he dribbled through traffic. Scoops it over to Wheeler. Xavier will drive, and Alabama will foul the sophomore guard. And that's on Petty. That's his first. And Georgia will inbound. Clock stopped with 9:50 to go. Georgia leads by 7, 20-13. They had a 9-point lead just a few moments ago. The largest of the ball game after Alabama scored the first 5 of the contest. And we're waiting on, telling Justin Kier's got to tuck in his jersey. It is tucked in. He's kind of questioning what's going on. Fashion counts, I guess, right? Garcia got hit, knocked his mask off. No whistle. Alabama with a takeaway and a drive. Shackelford lays it in on the other end of the floor. Garcia got hit in the face and his mask slid up on the top of his head, and there was no whistle. 20-15, Georgia by 5. Dogs have the ball. We work on the far right end of the floor. Jackson Eder, couple of dribbles, feeds Wheeler, who shovels it into the corner to Kier. Dribbles it into the lane, will shoot, facing up, knocks down the 6-footer in front of the bucket. Kier with his first points. It's 22-15 Georgia. Alabama, offensive foul with Jones charging through, knocking down Tumani on the left baseline. Herbert Jones whistled for his second foul for the Crimson Tide.
And that was what you pointed out earlier that KD had done. He dropped that shoulder and went right into the chest of Tumani.
7-point Dogs lead with 9:12 to go in the first half. Kamara will inbound it to Wheeler, who will walk it from the backcourt across the timeline through the logo. Give it to Eder on the wing. 3 dribbles, handoff on the wing to Kier. Back to Wheeler quickly. Put some moisture on the bottoms of his shoes, tries to dribble through traffic. Lost the basketball, had to chase it down. Works down, oh my goodness, worked it down all the way to the baseline and fed it to Kamara. Charging in hard from the right, and he goes up high and dunks it home. Kamara with his second bucket of the game. It's 24-15 Dogs.
Great assist.
Primo, 3-ball, left wing, rattles off the iron, no good. Eder with another rebound for the Dogs. To his right to Kier. Back to Eder, front court, catch and shoot, deep 3. He ripped it! Jackson Eder with an NBA 3, a Scana Energy long-distance three-pointer to put the Dogs up double figures. It's 27-15 Georgia. Alabama to Bruner in the paint. Quickly out on the wing. Here's a three by Primo. Around the rim and out. Ball picked up on the rebound by Kyer. Long pass into the front court to Eder. Feeds it back to Kamara in the paint. Goaltending on Alabama, I think, yes.
Yeah, that ball had touched the glass when it was deflected.
Kamara put it up and in, and Alabama knocked it off the backboard. And that's going to be the goaltend on the Crimson Tide. Give Kamara the points. 29-15, Georgia. Dogs, after giving up the first 5 of the ball game, have had an explosion now. 29-15, 14-point lead. We've got Michael Starks in the ball game now for the Dogs. Wheeler is out. There's another tap away and a steal. Starks picks up the loose ball. Starks to the rack. Layup is blocked from behind. I think Bruner may have gotten a piece of that. The 6'10 forward, transfer from Yale, blocked it out of bounds. It'll be the Dogs' ball after the timeout. 7:49 to go. Dogs get a hand going into the huddle here. They lead Alabama 29-15 with a break at Stegman. Back to Athens after this on the Bulldogs Sports Network.
Everybody remembers the amazing light show last year when we ran the Fighting Irish out of Sanford Stadium that made Georgia the envy of college football. I'm Kenny Mullins, business manager for the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 613. Every light in Sanford Stadium was installed by an IBEW electrician. We also light up the practice facility and many other buildings on campus. Learn more about the IBEW at IBEW613.org. Go Dogs!
Catches it, a spin move, drop step to the baseline. Slam and jam. Steps back for 3. Nailed it from way downtown. Drives the lane, kaboom, count it, and gets the foul. Are you kidding me?
Keep the excitement of game day going in a Nissan. With game-changing tech that makes every drive as exciting as a game-winning buzzer beater. Get to Nissan, proud partner of the Georgia Bulldogs.
Hey, Dog fans. Coach Kirby Smart here. Do you have a game plan for flu season? Get ahead of the competition by getting a flu shot at Piedmont. It's the smart thing to do. Stop by any Piedmont primary care, quick care, or urgent care location and stay healthy all season long. Visit piedmont.org/UGA to learn more and book online. Piedmont Healthcare. More ways to better.
Dogs by 14, largest lead of the half, 29-15. The Bulldogs lead Alabama with 7:49 to go. Let's give you a first half recap brought to you by Regions, where you can get the Georgia Bulldogs Visa check card. Visit regions.com/GoDogs to order yours today. Alabama scored the first 5 of the game, and then Georgia came roaring back at the first media timeout. It was 15:42 to go in the half. It was 5-4 Alabama. The Dogs then went on a 14-4 run. They've outscored the Tide 25-10 since that mark over the last 8 minutes of the ball game. 25-10. Alabama's turned it over 8 times, and they are 1 for 7 on their three-point shots. They were 18 of 30 in Tuscaloosa in that first meeting last month.
Well, two of my keys were no open threes for Alabama, and we have done that. The one open three they had, they hit. They are 1 for 7 on. We've contested every other one, so we've done that. The other one, of course, was no scoring droughts, and we haven't had any of those long droughts that we've seen far too often this season. So far, so good. Let's just keep it up.
Certainly a lot of time to play against the SEC regular season champs, but the Dogs are shooting 62% right now and playing some terrific defense. Alabama at 30% for the game. And as we said, they've already turned it over 8 times. As Georgia will inbound on the offensive end. Eder feeds Garcia, left block, dribbles it into the paint, tries to twist around away from Bruner, and then throws it back out on the perimeter to Starks. Bruner at 6'10" is a big problem inside for the 6'6" Garcia. Starks has it behind a screen from Eder off the left wing. 7 to shoot. Starks to Eder. Straight away. 4 to shoot. Into Garcia. 2 to shoot. 1 to shoot. Tie up as Andrew goes up for the ball. And
we
the
have
jump.
the arrow.
The ball is tied up by Miles, I think it was.
We got 1 second to get a shot off.
Darius Miles at 6'6" tied it up. And the Dogs, as Chuck pointed out, have the arrow after the jump ball call and just 1 second on the shot clock.
Well,
and the Dogs will call a timeout here with 7:23 to go in the first half.
Scott, normally you'd be pretty concerned about, and you should be, but except that, one thing that Georgia has shown this year, Tom Crean has got some unbelievable inbounds plays that he runs from underneath the basket. I mean, we've seen Georgia score multiple times on inbounds plays from underneath the basket.
1 second on the clock, though. That's going to be a little more challenging, right?
Yeah, but, I mean, it's one pass and get it up.
If it's open, you're right, but Georgia has had success under the basket. In fact, Tom was, after we did his pregame interview, I mean, he's in there working on play. He has these blue sheets of paper that he's constantly working on plays right up until tip time, I would imagine. But he's got that stuff all over his desk up there in his office and is still working on preparation for the ball game right up until the opening tip. So we'll see what the Dogs have devised here with 1 second on the shot clock. They'll inbound down to our right on the right baseline with Wheeler. Kyer, Kamara, Eder, and Garcia all stretched out parallel to the baseline across the lane with Kamara in the middle of the paint. Alabama's matched up with them, and they don't have anybody guarding the throw-in on Wheeler. Here we go, 1 second to get off the shot. Wheeler looks under the basket, still looking, into the corner. Catch and shoot, Kyer. Missed, they said the shot clock went off anyway, so the Kyer shot would not have counted if it had gone, and that'll be the shot clock violation. There wasn't a full 1 second on the clock. I don't know how many tenths were left, but there wasn't the full 1 second, and the Dogs will turn it over there, and will substitute Garcia out and Eder out, Fagan and Horn back in for Tom Crean's Bulldogs. Dogs 29, Alabama 15. Crimson Tide with the basketball. Shackelford, left-hand dribble, top of the key, works against Fagan now. Through the lane, stops right of the lane. Passes it back out on the perimeter to Quinterly. The Villanova transfer, double-teamed out front. Sloppy pass to the wing, fielded with one hand by Shackelford. Crossover, drives against Fagan, gets to the rack, lays it in good. He fell down. The ball hung on the front edge of the rim and then fell back through for the Crimson Tide. 29-17, Georgia. Dogs with a 12-point lead and the ball. Fagan above the arc on the right side. Gives it into the corner to Horn. Back up the wing to Fagan. 10 to shoot. Tide tried to split the defense, lost the handle on the basketball. Dogs turn it over. Alabama with a takeaway, driving layup, good on the left end by Keon Ellis. Here comes Alabama. It's 29-19, 10-point Georgia lead. Kyer turns it over, lost the dribble, picked up by Quinterly. He loses the dribble.
No, Severe just stole it.
Did he
flat out picked his
poke
pocket.
it away? Wheeler ends up with the basketball, as Quinterly tried to drive against Kyer and Wheeler, and Xavier stole it. 6:04 to go in the half. Wheeler backs it up above the arc right side, goes to Kamara. Left-handed bounce pass into the paint to Horn is deflected and stolen by Alabama. A lot of turnovers in this ball game. Here's Shackelford for three for Alabama. No good, off the rim. Tap out rebound to the Crimson Tide. Miss another three. They get another offensive rebound. 5:42 remaining in the first half. 29-19 Dogs. Bruner, open three, left side. He admires the three as it's all net from the wing. Bruner with his first points. 31% three-point shooter. That's his 18th of the year. Gets the deficit back to 7 for the Crimson Tide. Georgia led by 14 moments ago, but Alabama scored 7 in a row.
Yeah, we're in a little bit of one of those droughts.
29-22, high lob from Horn down to Kamara on the block. Misses the lay-in after he wiggled his way through two Alabama defenders. Alabama rebounds off the rim. Ellis with the basketball. Fell down, lost the ball. Picked up by Kamara. Spins it up to Kyer. Kyer to the rack. He's fouled. Misses the lay-in on the drive. He'll go to the line for two shots.
Well, it was beautiful defense by the Dogs, but we're not being careful with the basketball. We've had too many turnovers here in the past couple of minutes and just not getting good looks. And then when we do get a good look, we're not completing. As Tumani, you just missed a point-blank layup.
29-22, Kyer to the line. 77% foul shooter. transfer from George Mason. Misses it off the left side of the rim. This is our first free throw of the ball game.
No, I think Tumani missed one earlier.
Oh, you're right, on a three-point play. You are correct. Alabama still hasn't been to the line, and Georgia 0 for 2 now from the stripe. Kyer, free throw, ripped it. All net. 3 points for the George Mason transfer, playing in his 132nd career basketball game. 30-22, Dogs by 8. Petty works, kills the dribble in the lane. Gives it to Shackelford. He drives through defenders, misses the lay-in. Off the rebound, or off the backboard, the rebound down to Kamara. Turns and gives it to Wheeler. Wheeler's jump pass from the lane, intercepted by Shackelford. He'll turn and run it up the floor, miss a lay-in. Primo there for the follow, and the putback rolls in over the front rim good.
Our initial wave got down the floor for defense, but we were a little slow with that back wave coming. That's why they had the easy putback.
Tide was down 14. Now they're down 6, 30-24. Dogs, 11 turnovers. Alabama, 10. And there's another Georgia turnover. Offensive foul on the Dogs on Kamara. Says Patrick Evans. Set an illegal screen. That's his first and the team's fourth. 22 turnovers between the two teams in the ballgame. And now Georgia's total has increased here in the last 5 minutes up to 12. Alabama has 10. Tied with the ball, down 6. They've come from 14 back. Shackelford across the top of the key on the right-hand dribble. Lobs it to Gary. Catches it in the air. Tried to lay it in the same motion. And he rolls off the right side of the rim. The Dogs have the rebound. Kyer for 3, right wing. Rainbow, good, all net. High arcing shot from deep on the right wing for Justin Kyer. His first 3 of the game. The Dogs 33, Alabama 24. They get it into Gary again. Works one-on-one with Horn. Horn holds his ground. Gary misses the lay-in. Kamara the rebound. Wheeler drives quickly. Dogs turn it over. Ball rolling in the front court. Picked up by Rojas. Lobs it up ahead to Gary. He's tripped from behind. Feet got tangled.
With
Gary
hit
the floor pretty hard. Knee first, I think, running full speed. And they got Kamara with the foul. Didn't appear to be intentional. They just kind of got their legs tangled up.
They did, and Tumani, it was concerned about him. Young man hit pretty hard on his knee.
That's going to get us into the timeout with the foul and perhaps an injury to Jawan Gary for Alabama. It's 3:23 remaining in the first half. Georgia has a 9-point lead. It's the Dogs 33 and Alabama 24. Back after this on the Bulldogs Sports Network.
Northside Hospital reminds you to stay safe and stay healthy during the pandemic. It's easy to do a few simple things every day. Wash your hands frequently and disinfect hard surfaces in your home. Don't touch your eyes, nose, and mouth with unwashed hands. Always wear a mask in public and wash your hands before and after removing your mask. And if you're in a crowded place, stay at least 6 feet apart from others. For more information and CDC safety guidelines, go to northside.com/COVID-19.
Follow the Dogs on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Georgia Basketball. More Bulldogs hoops in a moment after this from your local station.
Though this basketball season may look a little different, you can still grab an ice-cold, refreshing Dos Equis for tip-off and cheer your team on from anywhere. So no matter where you are, remember nothing goes better with basketball than a smooth and refreshing cerveza. Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York. At Subway restaurants, deals are delicious. And right now, you can choose from 2 great deals on delicious meals. Get a 6-inch cold cut combo, spicy Italian or Black Forest ham, plus chips and a 20-ounce drink for just $6. Or choose a 6-inch chicken and bacon ranch melt, sweet onion chicken teriyaki, or steak and cheese, plus chips and a 20-ounce drink for just $7. Either way, you get a great deal on a delicious meal. Only at Subway restaurants. Limited time only at participating restaurants. Additional charge for extras, plus applicable tax. No additional discounts or coupons may be applied.
The injured player for Alabama, Juwan Gary, had to be assisted to the bench area. I'm not sure if he's still over there. I think he is. I see him now. Having that knee looked at, and Gary's had a lot of injuries in his Alabama career. Redshirt freshman forward from Columbia, South Carolina. In fact, his first start this year was in a game at South Carolina, and 2 minutes into the game, he injured his shoulder and then was lost for the next 2 games for the Crimson Tide. He did not play in that first meeting with the Bulldogs. And we'll see, we'll watch his progress throughout here. He had to be assisted by the trainer and one other person off the floor because he couldn't put any pressure on that leg.
Well, you hope the young man is not, I mean, he was really trying to get down the floor in a hurry. And Tumani, you know, he didn't mean it. He was just running behind him, trying to catch up to the play, and their feet got tangled, and he hit the floor hard.
Alabama will have possession of the ball. Jones trying to find somebody to lob it into. The Dogs deny, and it's lost out of bounds by Alabama. Jones tried to lob it into John Petty in traffic. Everybody was jumping and tipping at the basketball, and Alabama touched it out of bounds into the Dogs bench.
Well, again, the Dogs with great defense. Amazing what good things happen to you when you play good defense.
Georgia gets it on the Alabama turnover. Dogs by 9 with the ball. KD goes baseline against Jones. Up the wing to Garcia, who's back in. Andrew drives, sweeping lay-in, good, and the foul. Count the basket and send Garcia, the Phantom of the Opera, to the free throw line. Garcia already at the line as he took a couple of Alabama players with him trying to defend. And the Tide with the foul, that's on Petty. That's his second. And Garcia waiting at the free throw line for the basketball to shoot. He's got 4 in the game now. And the Dogs with the free throw. Good three-point play for Georgia as they build the lead back up to double digits. It's 36-24 Dogs. Georgia by 12 with 2:56 to go in the half. Alabama on the offensive end. Petty drives from the wing and foul out on the perimeter on Justin Kier, says Pat Adams. That's the first on Kier, the team's 6th. KD has a couple of fouls for Georgia, as does Tumani. Alabama will inbound front court, far sideline. Down 36-24 to the Dogs. Herbert Jones, the 6'8 senior, will throw it in. Garcia will guard the inbound. Jones feeds it into Primo right in front of him. Edder's guarding him. Primo, the freshman, backs it up on the logo. One-handed pass to the wing to Shackelford. Wheeler goes with him defensively. Through the lane, curls around on the left side of the floor. Now attacks again. Shackelford, spin move, left-handed floater, good.
That's just a great play. I mean, you know, tip your hat to him. That was a terrific move. Great little left-handed floater.
Shackelford now with 6 for Alabama, and it's 36-26. Dogs by 10. Georgia with the ball. Wheeler under the basket. Lost it off his leg, says the official. Rolls out of bounds over the baseline. Dogs turn it over. 13, make it 14 turnovers now in the half for Georgia.
Yeah, that's Al. The only thing it's helping in any regard is our defense has forced 11 Tide turnovers.
Yeah, so we're still -3 in the turnover margin. Alabama attacks with Primo. Down the lane, left-handed lay-in with the kiss off the glass is good. 36-28. Georgia's lead is 8. We've got the basketball. Kier from the right wing to Eder on the left side. Behind the back dribble, top of the key. Feeds Justin Kier on the left side. Down on the baseline, up the wing it goes to Garcia. He attacks, runs into a Alabama defender, puts it up anyway over the defender. A little too much on it. And the rebound on the right side by Alabama. Here's Primo for 3 on the other end. Front of the rim, no good. One-handed rebound, Garcia. Alabama cold from 3, and that's a good thing. They're just 2 for 11 here. Here's Wheeler for 3 straight away. Too deep, back on. High rebound, pulled down by Herbert Jones for the tie. 80 seconds to go in the half. Georgia by 8. Primo fakes the 3, goes to Shackelford. Catch and shoot 3 off the front of the rim. Rebound in traffic. Horn gathers in the basketball for the Dogs. Feeds it to Wheeler at half court. Xavier through traffic. feeds it back to Horn on a scoop. His three off the iron, no good. He had a straightaway, good look, open look at it, missed it. Rebound Alabama, less than a minute to go. Lob to Petty under the basket. He catches between two defenders, reverse pivot, layup good, Petty. Alabama bringing it closer now as we get closer to the end of the half. 36-30 Dogs. 43 on the game clock, 21 on the shot clock. Eder holds it on the right wing, swings the ball against Petty. Now feeds it back to Wheeler. Xavier between the circles, Shackelford guarding, 10 on the shot clock. Wheeler with a crossover. Can't get open, drives around. A blocking foul called by Rojas out on the left edge. Wheeler was driving wide to the left, and Rojas got out there and gave him a little bit of a hip check and picks up the foul. That's the 7th on Alabama, so that'll put the Dogs at the line for 1-1. 36-30, Dogs by 6 with 26.5 seconds to go in the first half.
And Georgia's next one here, if they have another one in this half, will put Alabama at the line to be the Dogs' 7th.
Dogs got up 12. Now Alabama scored the last 6. And Wheeler trying to snap that little skid at the free throw line. The left-hander from Houston misses it short off the front of the rim. We've just hit half our foul shots today. Alabama rebounds. They can hold for the last possession, but they're going to take it to the rack right in there as Shackelford ends up on his back and Georgia fouls him. And the foul on Jackson Eder, his first. 36-30 with Alabama going to the foul line. Clock stopped at 17.7 seconds. In that first meeting, Alabama was 11 of 17 on threes as the free throw is too deep and no good. They were 11 of 17 on threes after the first half. Today, Alabama just 2 of 12 on three-pointers here in half number 1. That's quite a difference as Bruner exits the ball game for Alabama.
Well, there's been a difference in Georgia's defense.
Shackelford barely drew iron, and K.D. Johnson gets the rebound. Just saved it, reaching one hand as the ball was bouncing so close to the baseline. Dogs with 8 seconds in the half. One final possession, leading by 6. Wheeler crossover to the rack. There he goes. Layup blocked by Alabama. Crimson Tide gets the rebound. That's the end of the half. Well, he knifed through the defense, tried to lay it up from the left side. Alabama got a block from behind.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. He got his defender, but the second guy got the ball. Good defense by the Tide. But listen, how about that first half by Georgia, particularly defensively? Team that's ran up 115 points on you in Tuscaloosa just a couple of weeks ago has 30 points here midway through this contest. So Dogs doing a terrific job defensively. They're contesting the threes. They need to now stop the ball when they're penetrating, because now Alabama's taking it to the rim and they are getting layups. So we got to stop that. But if we can find a solution for that and continue to contest their threes, second half may work out well for the Dogs.
Georgia led by as much as 14 in that first half. Their lead is 6 at intermission. Georgia 36, Alabama 30 at intermission here at Stegman Coliseum. Stay tuned now for the Georgia Power halftime show, and we'll send it to Zach Jewell in the Piedmont Healthcare Network studios. That's next here on the Bulldogs Sports Network.
The SEC taught us that anything is possible, that just when you think you've seen it all, you won't believe what happens next, that comebacks are not the makings of miracles, but are born out of preparation, perspiration, and perseverance. As the official bank of the SEC, at Regions, we take these lessons to heart and strive to bring our best every single day. What has the SEC taught you? Join the conversation with #SECLessons. Regions Bank, member FDIC.
Catches it, does spin move, drop step to the baseline. Land and jam. Steps back for 3. Nailed it from way downtown. Drives the lane. Kaboom! Count it. And gets the foul. Are you kidding me?
Keep the excitement of game day going in a Nissan with game-changing tech that makes every drive as exciting as a game-winning buzzer beater. Get to Nissan, proud partner of the Georgia Bulldogs.
This is Georgia Basketball, sponsored by Progressive. Drivers who save with Progressive save over $750 on average.
Make your first play of the season a smart one. Get a fast and easy sports physical right around the corner from Piedmont Quick Care at Walgreens. With 27 locations offering extended hours and most open 7 days a week, you can book online to get in, get out, and get on your way to a championship year. Visit piedmont.org/UGA to schedule a sports physical today. Patient care services provided by Piedmont Healthcare. Piedmont Quick Care at Walgreens. One stop to better. Hey Bulldog fans, Coach Smart here. My friends at Georgia United Credit Union now offer Georgia Bulldogs Visa debit cards. Now you can show your team pride everywhere you go and spend. Pick your favorite design and score yours today. Georgia United makes banking easy, friendly, and smart for busy members like myself. Attack the day with a free checking account that pays big interest. It's the smart choice. Visit at gucu.org/Go Dogs for important account information. Insured by NCUA, Georgia United, the official credit union of Georgia Athletics.
On the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network, welcome to the Georgia Power Halftime Report. The Georgia Power Halftime Report is brought to you by Georgia Power, proud to power the Georgia Bulldogs. Live from the Piedmont Healthcare Network studios, here's your host, Zach Jewell.
And welcome inside the Piedmont Healthcare Studios as we open the Georgia Power Halftime Report with the Dogs leading the Crimson Tide 36-30. Today's halftime report is presented by Georgia Power. Georgia Power brings the energy for every game day into your community too. Visit georgiapower.com/community to learn more. Zach Jewell here with you as we get you up to date on scores on the nation on the final Saturday of the regular season. We'll start with the SEC finals so far. Kentucky with a huge 92-64 win at home against South Carolina, and final just seconds ago, Auburn over Mississippi State 78-71. Still to come later on, LSU will visit Missouri at the top of the hour. Number 12 Arkansas will host Texas A&M at 5, and Ole Miss welcomes Vanderbilt to the Pavilion tonight at 7. Taking a look at the women's basketball tournament up in Greenville, South Carolina, it's semifinal Saturday. The first game up is the 1 seed Texas A&M taking on our 4 seed Lady Dogs. That game is set for 4 p.m. and will be followed by the 2 seed South Carolina taking on the 3 seed Tennessee Lady Vols. Tip-off for the second game set for around 6:30. Our score halfway through: Dogs up 6, 36-30. We're back to check the top 25 after these messages on the Bulldog Sports Network.
These days I'm spending a lot more time at home, which means I need ways to easily control my comfort. And here's an insider tip. If you're a Georgia Power residential customer, you may be eligible for up to a $75 instant rebate on a smart thermostat. Here's how. Georgia Power's online marketplace features thermostats from brands like Google Nest, Honeywell, and Ecobee, as well as a variety of LEDs and smart home products like smart speakers, Wi-Fi routers, indoor cameras, and more. Just visit the site and start shopping. Shop now at GeorgiaPowerMarketplace.com.
To celebrate State Farm's surprisingly great race, we gave this game day jam surprisingly great lyrics.
I saved a lot this year because I called the pros. I am calling State Farm. I gotta make a phone call. We got that coverage here. Protect your car at home. I am calling State Farm. I gotta make a phone call. You can just call now. There's a little bit of great rates with a little bit of Jake. Look at my quote now.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
For up-to-the-second news and special content on all things Georgia Bulldogs, visit GeorgiaDogs.com. This is the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
Love getting prices that are lower than low on food that's fresher than fresh? Then shop at Kroger. We give you more ways to save on the fresh you love with tools like the Kroger app, where you can find personalized coupons on top of weekly sales, giving you prices that are lower than the everyday low. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Right now, you can save on strawberries. They're fresh and juicy, and 16-ounce cartons are 3 for only $5 with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Libman makes a difference. The Libman Mop Crew is part of our winning team. The Libman Mop Crew makes sure the hardwood is clean and safe for players every game at Stegman Coliseum. No matter what kind of flooring you have at your home court, Libman has the tools to keep it clean. Our mops, brooms, and brushes are proudly family-made in the USA. Visit Libman.com to see our whole lineup and for a store locator. That's Libman.com.
This This copyrighted broadcast is an exclusive presentation of Learfield IMG College and JMI Sports under the broadcasting rights granted by the University of Georgia. Reuse of this presentation is prohibited without the express written consent of the University of Georgia, Learfield IMG College, and JMI Sports. Announcers are provided by Learfield IMG College and JMI Sports and approved by the University of Georgia.
The Georgia Power halftime report continues from the Piedmont Healthcare Studios with the Dogs in front of the Crimson Tide 36-30. Before we get to the top 25 scores this afternoon, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network. Zach Jewell back with you now as we get you caught up on the top 25 scores as the college basketball regular season comes to a close. First up, finals from earlier. 11th ranked Florida State falls on the road at Notre Dame 83-73, and in the MVC semifinals, 20th ranked Loyola Chicago over Indiana State 65-49. Several games in progress now. Halftime at Morgantown, number 6 West Virginia leads number 17 Oklahoma State 39-34. Halftime at number 23rd ranked Purdue, they lead Indiana 29-20, and they're just underway in the first half. 7:33 to go there. Providence leads number 10 Villanova 21-12. Several games still to come as teams fight for seeding. 7th ranked Ohio State hosts number 4 Illinois at 4 p.m. and number 21 Virginia hosts Louisville also at 4. We round out the night in the top 25 with a 5 o'clock matchup in the Big East. Number 14 Creighton hosts Butler. That'll do it for scores around the nation. 20 minutes down, 20 to go with the Dogs leading the SEC regular season champion Crimson Tide 36-30. We're back to Stegman with Scott and Chuck to set up the second half next here on the Bulldog Sports Network.
Though this basketball season may look a little different, you can still grab an ice-cold, refreshing Dos Equis for tip-off and cheer your team on from anywhere. So no matter where you are, remember nothing goes better with basketball than a smooth and refreshing cerveza. Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
No one gets you closer to SEC sports than SiriusXM. Tune in to shows on SEC Radio hosted by experts like Peter Burns, Chris Doring, Aaron Murray, and me, Jacob Hester. Plus, get conference news, analysts, and much more. From the all-season through the postseason, we've got your team covered anywhere you go. And now, you can try us out for free. Get a free trial to take your team with you on your phone, online, and at home. Start listening at SiriusXM.com/SECSXM.
This is Georgia Basketball, sponsored by Progressive. Drivers who save with Progressive save over $750 on average.
If you thought you saw the last of the double cheeseburger pizza from Papa John's, think again, because it's back again. And now they're debuting the sequel as a papadilla, a quarter pound of beef, zesty burger sauce, and pickles on crispy flatbread crust. Again, one more time. Get a large double cheeseburger pizza for just $12, or a new double cheeseburger papadilla for $6. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. Again. Not valid with discounts, fees, and taxes. Extra prices may vary.
At BMW, we made the ultimate range of SAVs. And because each of the 7 X-Range sports activity vehicles flawlessly balance dynamic power, spacious size, and sleek design, you can choose from a fleet that fits perfectly into your life. Like the versatile and bold X1, the unbelievably powerful X3, or the luxurious X7. No matter who you are, no matter where you're going, no matter what's next, there's an X to take you there.
Proud sponsor of Georgia Athletics. Visit BMWATL.com for great offers. Go Dogs!
Back here at Stegman Coliseum, it's halftime. Georgia leading Alabama 36-30. Our first half stats are brought to you by Northside Hospital in Atlanta. Their surgeons have decades of experience with routine and complex surgeries, and today Northside Hospital leads the Southeast in innovative procedures, performing nearly 40,000 robotic surgeries since 2005. Their confidence and compassion await you in Atlanta. You can learn more at northside.com. First half numbers, shooting percentage, Georgia shot 52% from the field, 15 of 29. Alabama at 37% after one half, 14 of 38. Georgia was 4 of 8 on threes. Alabama just 2 of 12 on three-point shots. They are the number 1 three-point shooting team in the SEC at 37.5% per ball game, but again, just 2 of 12 after 20 minutes of play. The Dogs were 2 for 5 at the free throw line. Alabama had only 2 free throw attempts and missed them both. Georgia had 14 first-half turnovers, Alabama 11. The Tide have 15 points off those turnovers. Georgia 11 points off the Alabama mistakes. Rebounding, +1, Alabama 21-20 as the Tide leads that category. Georgia with only 3 offensive rebounds in the first half. Alabama has 7 second-chance points. Georgia with 0 second-chance points. The Tide have blocked 5 shots. Georgia has no blocks. Each team with almost an equivalent number of steals, 8 for Alabama, 7 for the Bulldogs. Georgia's led in scoring by Tumani Kamara, Justin Kier, and Xavier Wheeler, all with 6 points. Johnson and Garcia with 5. Leading scorer for the Crimson Tide is John Petty with 9. And Georgia has a 6-point lead as we get ready for half number 2. We'll get it started right after this on the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
Hey Bulldogs, some of us might be cheering from home this season. Maybe you've got the big TV and game time snacks, but no room to cheer. No sweat, you've got options. When you work with Rocket Mortgage, you see all your options right up front, from down payments to closing costs. It's easy to see what fits your budget. So if you need a home big enough for your whole team, Rocket can. Get started at rocketmortgage.com. Rocket Mortgage, proud mortgage partner of Georgia Athletics.
Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender license in all 50 states. NMLSconsumeraccess.org number 3030.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Is that Shakespeare?
Nope, it's Geico.
Yeah, that's Shakespeare from one of his unpublished works. Oh, it be not for awakening. Nay, giveth thou the berries. For 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
No, it's from Geico, because they help save people money.
Well, I hate to break it to you, but Geico got it from Shakespeare.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Follow the Dogs on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Georgia Basketball. More Bulldogs hoops in a moment after this from your local station.
Hey, Dog fans. Coach Kirby Smart here. Do you have a game plan for flu season? Get ahead of the competition by getting a flu shot at Piedmont. It's the smart thing to do. Stop by any Piedmont primary care, quick care, or urgent care location and stay healthy all season long. Visit piedmont.org/UGA to learn more and book online. Piedmont Healthcare, more ways to better.
At Subway restaurants, deals are delicious. And right now, you can choose from 2 great deals on delicious meals. Get a 6-inch cold cut combo, spicy Italian or Black Forest ham, plus chips and a 20-ounce drink for just $6. Or choose a 6-inch chicken and bacon ranch melt, sweet onion chicken teriyaki, or steak and cheese, plus chips and a 20-ounce drink for just $7. Either way, you get a great deal on a delicious meal. Only at Subway restaurants. Limited time only at participating restaurants. Additional charge for extras, plus applicable tax. No additional discounts or coupons may be applied.
Halfway home here in Athens, Georgia leads Alabama as we get ready for the second half to begin. It's 36-30. Georgia's largest lead of the first half was 14 points. But Alabama is a threat regardless of whatever deficit they may be playing in.
And they will be in the tournament next week in Nashville. And Scott, we've gotten word Georgia is now definitely set for Thursday, the 7 p.m. Eastern game against an opponent yet to be determined. So we will play Thursday night in Nashville at the SEC tournament against an opponent yet to be determined. May have to wait till tomorrow's Florida game to find out exactly who we'll be playing.
All right, but we do know Georgia's game time. Just don't know who we're playing yet when we head to Nashville next week for the SEC tournament. Alabama will get the ball to start the second half as we get underway here in the final 20 minutes. Dogs with a 6-point lead. Bama with a basketball. Herbert Jones guarded by Tumani Kamara. He has 2 fouls. Jones dribbles left, now right to the rack. He runs and will sink the runner and draw the contact as well. They'll count the foul. That's on P.J. Horn. That's the second on the graduate transfer from Virginia Tech. And that'll send Herbert Jones to the free throw line as they count the basket. And he goes to the foul line for an and one and a 3-point play opportunity, and it's 36-32. Jones, left-handed shooter, free throw off the back iron, no good. Horn the rebound. Herbert Jones, 74%. That one wasn't close. Dogs with the basketball, leading by 4. Wheeler attacks, kick out. Fagan, wide open 3, catch and shoot. Ooh.
And he stood and admired it rather than go, follow it, possibly get the rebound.
Hit the near side of the rim and the back portion of it. Alabama will attack with Primo. He gets in deep and lays it up and in. And it's a 2-point game, 36-34. Primo now with 8 points for the Crimson Tide. There's Wheeler for 3 for the Dogs. 1 and out, front of the rim, no good. Rebound Shackelford. Alabama left to right as we view it. Jones through the lane, kick out. Bruner, bang, 3. Just like that, Alabama leads 37-36. Second 3 for the 6'10 Bruner, the graduate transfer from Yale. Dogs are down 1 after leading by 14 in the first half, and now Wheeler will throw it away. Kamara was out of his reach. He tried to chase it and save it on side court. Couldn't get to it. The Dogs turn it over for the 15th time in the game.
Tumani had started forward, and Sevier thought he was backing up, threw it behind him. Tumani trying to explain to Sevier, no, I was going the other way.
So since the Dogs had that 14-point lead at 29-15, we've scored 7, and they've scored 22 to take the 1-point lead, 37-36. Herbert Jones through the lane. Somehow he got his body under Kamara, slashing through the lane from the left and reverse laid it up and in. I'm not sure how he got that. They were body to body going to the rack. Horn, straightaway 3 for the Dogs. Off the rim, no good. Fagan fights for the rebound. Kick out to Kyer, steps back for a 3. Good, he rips it from the right side. Scana Energy 3, we needed that. It's 39-38. Nope, it's 39 all. That was a 3. Scoreboard says 38 for us. Alabama gets an offensive rebound after a miss. Jones right under the basket in traffic will put it up and in good.
Well, you can't be beaten on the boards like that, particularly on the defensive boards.
41-39. And Alabama will score with Shackelford, I think. No, offensive foul on. They called an offensive foul on Georgia.
They called an offensive foul on Sevier.
On Wheeler. Crowd doesn't like the call, obviously. 41-39, I believe, is the score. Scoreboard overhead says 38 for Georgia. They didn't give Kyer the full 3. Maybe that one's in discrepancy. As Petty will throw it out of bounds. From the far left corner, he jumped in the air to save it and just heaved it back towards the half-court line and threw it over everybody's head, so it's an over and back on Alabama. Georgia will have the ball, front court near sideline. Kyer to inbound. 41-39, tied by 2. They quickly erased a 6-point deficit at halftime, and we're down 14 late in the first half. But again, they've come roaring back. But what else would you expect from the SEC champion? Kyer feeds it into Wheeler. Sevier screen from Kamara. Dribbles left wing. One-handed pass to Tumani. He'll scoop it to Fagan on the right side of the floor. Back to Horn. Inside it goes to Kamara. Stolen by Jones. Jones to the rack. Going to take it coast to coast. Layup blocked out of there by Tumani Kamara. But they got a foul on the Dogs. Foul is called on Fagan after the block by Kamara, or prior to the block, I guess.
I think it was prior to the block.
Dogs' third foul. That's going to put Jones. He's a central figure here in Alabama's strategy in the second half. He only had 2 points at intermission. He's got 8 here in the game now and going for 9 at the line. The left-hander from Greensboro, Alabama, gets it to fall off the left side of the iron. And that's his first free throw of the afternoon.
It's not to be confused with Green Bow, Alabama.
That's correct. Run, Forrest. Missed the second free throw. They've only made 1 foul shot today. They're 1 for 5. But yet they lead by 3, 42-39. Dogs with the ball, left end of the floor. We're on the offensive end. Wheeler, near side to Kyer. Back to Wheeler. Catch, shoot, three. Front of the rim. Rebound coming this way. And saved by Fagan, but into Primo for the Crimson Tide. Alabama basketball. Dogs just 5 for 13 now on threes. We were 4 for 8 at the half. So 1 for 5 to start the second half on long balls. Alabama ball with Jones to Primo. Back to Jones, who tried to curl down the lane towards the basket. Ball's intercepted by the Dogs on the pass from Primo. Kyer in front court, lobs it to Kamara. He swings it around to Fagan. Right edge of the lane. He's blocked trying to shoot.
The line. I'll tell you what, that was a beautiful steal on the other end by Justin Kyer. He is so adept at that.
They got the foul on Bruner, the 6'10 Yale transfer, and that'll send Fagan to the free throw line for 2 shots here. Tie on the year, 57% from the line. Dogs need some points here. We're 2 for 5 from the stripe today, by the way. Foul on Bruner this afternoon is his first. 42-39. Alabama with a 3-point lead after trailing by 6 at the half. Fagan from Logtown, Georgia, the junior left-hander. 2 deep, back iron, no good. Garcia checks back in with his mask and toes. He tucks in his jersey and stands at the foul lane. He'll put the protective mask over his face. And Fagan will shoot the second free throw. Same spot on the rim, way on the back portion of it, and he missed them both. Dogs miss a chance for points there. We're down 3. Alabama with the ball. Herbert Jones works against Kamara. Over to Petty for 3. He rips it from the left wing over Fagan.
That's a good ball player right there.
Petty with his second 3 of the game. He's got 64 on the season. That's more than anybody else in the SEC. And it's 45-39 Alabama now. They went from 6 down to 6 up before the first media timeout. Drive by the Dogs. Wheeler, foul called on Alabama as he goes tumbling to the floor. The foul is on Shackelford. They called a block on the Alabama guard, and that'll put Wheeler on the line, I believe, when we come back. 15:39 to go in the second half and the ball game. It's the Tide 45, the Dogs 39. Back after this, Bulldog Sports Network.
Across the Northside Hospital system, our surgeons have decades of experience with routine and complex surgeries. Today, Northside leads the Southeast in innovative procedures. Since 2005, we've performed nearly 40,000 robotic surgeries. Our board-certified surgeons are acclaimed for non-invasive techniques. Their confidence and compassion await you at Northside. For complex surgeries, choose the best surgeons. Learn more at northside.com.
These days I'm spending a lot more time at home, which means I need ways to easily control my comfort. And here's an insider tip. If you're a Georgia Power residential customer, you may be eligible for up to a $75 instant rebate on a smart thermostat. Here's how. Georgia Power's online marketplace features thermostats from brands like Google Nest, Honeywell, and Ecobee, as well as a variety of LEDs and smart home products like smart speakers, Wi-Fi routers, indoor cameras, and more. Just visit the site and start shopping. Shop now at GeorgiaPowerMarketplace.com.
The great point guards are rare. They're true leaders with a work ethic that never wavers and a desire to win that's second to none. There's one truck like that, Ford F-150. It's smart, powerful, and never backs down from the toughest jobs. That's why Ford F-Series has been America's best-selling truck 43 years straight. Learn more at buyfordnow.com or visit your local Ford dealer to score a great offer on F-150. Based on 2019 calendar year total sales.
Bulldogs basketball is driven by BMW. Great performance on and off the track, or on or off the court, is why your local Atlanta area BMW centers are the official luxury vehicle of Georgia Athletics. Visit BMWATL.com for details, and go Dogs.
Scott, during the commercial break, which is like on Jeopardy.
You're going to give us some bad news, aren't you?
Yeah, like on Jeopardy when you had an answer wrong. And they come back and they correct it. They are now saying that was not a 3 that Kyer hit. It was a 2. So we have 38, not 39 points.
So we're down 7 with 15:39 to go. We were up 6 when the half started, and now we're down 7. That's our only points of the second half, the basket by Justin Kyer, and they just trimmed it by 1 from a 3 to a 2. And Alabama has just come out in a flurry. Jones already has 3 baskets, and Bruner has a 3, Petty has a 3, Primo has a deuce.
And, look, you might say, well, here's good news. We're at the free throw line, but that hadn't been good news for us so far tonight.
No, just 2 for 7 so far. Wheeler hopes to change that right here. Xavier, the 5'10 sophomore from Houston, Texas, at 73% from the line, making his first trip to the line this afternoon, and that free throw will bounce and roll in there good. And Wheeler has our 3rd point of the half and his 7th of the ball game. Second one quickly, launches it, all net. So the left-hander steps up there and buries 2, and it's 45-40. Dogs down 5 to Alabama. Javon Quinterly in the ball game. And those yellow shoes don't really go with the crimson uniform. There's an air ball 3 from the right wing, going to hit the underside of the net and bounce out of bounds.
I got to tell you, these students here, there's good student turnout, and they let him hear about it.
Students around the end zone of the court there, and in them behind us too, wraparounding behind us where we're located courtside. KD Johnson is back in the ball game for the Dogs. He's got 2 fouls. Here's Kamara attacking from the right side, runs into Rojas, dribbles it off the foot, I think, out of bounds.
Of Rojas.
Off Rojas' foot, perhaps, as the ball just shot out of bounds over the end line. Dogs will have it, 11 on the shot clock, and Wheeler to throw it in. Dogs with Kyer, Johnson, Wheeler, Garcia, and Kamara on the floor. Wheeler feeds it into Kyer, who came back towards the baseline to take the inbounds pass. Wheeler with 6, way at top of the key. Going to drive, feed it into Kamara, tipped out. Caught by Johnson on the wing. His 3 balls off the iron as the shot clock runs out. Rebound to Alabama. Big Jones has it in the front court, guarded by Kamara. Jones listed at 6'8", 210. He's a guard. Going to penetrate and kick out to Rojas on the left baseline. Runs through Kamara and gets the running layup. Looked like an offensive foul, but no whistle. Johnson attacks on the other end. He will get in deep and score, and then the Rojas foul will send him to the line for a 3-point play. Well, the foul's on Ellis and not Rojas.
You know what Alabama has that unlike other teams that we see in the conference, they've got moderate size, but what they've really got is quickness. They are an extremely quick basketball team.
Here's KD at the free throw line. 1 free throw here for a 3-point play. Front of the rim, no good. Rebound knocked out by Kamara.
No, they're saying, yep, they're going to give it to Alabama.
The Alabama basketball. Miss another foul shot.
Christian Brown.
We're 4 for 10 now from the free throw line. Christian Brown is in the game for the Dogs along with Garcia. The Dogs into a zone. Quinterly fakes the 3, going to dribble and drive, rolls it off his foot. It rolls over to Shackelford, far on the left side. Back to Quinterly for 3, left corner, and he rips it. That's his first basket of the ball game. Alabama's extended the lead, 50-42. Dogs down 8 after leading by 6 at the half and by 14 late in the first half. Kamara out of the right corner, up the wing to Wheeler. Comes to him to retrieve the ball. Wheeler down the lane in traffic. Shot blocked. Whistle blows. Contact and a foul on the Crimson Tide. And that one's on Ellis. That's 2 on Ellis now, and that'll put Wheeler back at the free throw line for the Dogs. We stop the clock with 13:45 to go. Dogs down 8. Going to the line for 2 here for Xavier.
Well, he just knocked down 2, and that was good to see because, as we pointed out, the Dogs have struggled at the line.
Free throw, all net, good by the left-hander. 3 for 3 in the ball game and in this half for Wheeler.
Scott, we're making a free throw comeback.
Whatever it takes, baby. That free throw is good. 4 for 4. Wheeler in double figures with 10. He's the first for Georgia to reach double figures. 50-44. Dogs down 6. Rojas, quick pass to Ellis. Up the wing to Shackelford. Right side, fadeaway 3. Good. Deep on the right side. He hit an NBA 3, it looked like. Dogs attack with K.D. Johnson quickly. Jumps in the air, tries the finger roll lay-in, and they foul him. That's a block on Shackelford. That's 3 fouls on Shackelford now. That'll put KD back at the free throw line. He's got 2 coming up here. Well, Alabama, after having only 2 threes in the first half, have already connected on 4 here in the second half, and they lead by 9. And KD can't get that foul shot to go. It won't roll in for him. Rolls off the iron, no good. He's 0 for 2 from the line here in this half and in the ball game. 53-44. Alabama's turned it around on the Dogs. Second free throw is up and in. Got some iron with that one, but it fell through good. 53-45. Tied in front. Quinterly runs by Christian Brown. Got a step on him, leans in and lays it up from the left side with Brown trying to catch up defensively. Quinterly now with 5 for the tie. 55-45. It's a 10-point Alabama lead. Kamara with 3. Buries it from the right wing. Tumani with his first 3-pointer. He's got 9 in the ball game now, and it's 55-48. That's a Scana Energy 3. Dogs with a steal on the other end. Wheeler speeds down the floor, misses the lay-in. Kamara misses the tap-in, gets his own miss. Turnaround jumper off the rim again. We miss again. Dogs with a steal. Rojas got the rebound, and Wheeler poked it away. Georgia attacks. Johnson for 3. Good! Got it! Scana 3 in the left corner for KD. Dogs attacking. Alabama will turn it over. Jones mishandles the dribble, trying to raise it over the defender. He lost the ball out of his hand and sent it out of bounds on the right baseline. The Dogs will have it back. We've cut the lead back to 4. It's 55-51. Rojas exits the game, and Alex Reese comes in for Nate Oates' Crimson Tide. 55-51. Georgia down 4 after being down 10 moments ago. Wheeler walks it into the front court, feeds Horn, left side of the floor. Deeper on the wing to Johnson. Johnson comes out of the corner, is double teamed, tried to thread the needle. Not a good decision. He threw it off Alabama's legs, and they get the deflection. Dogs with a turnover, Alabama with a takeaway, and Keon Ellis with an uncontested lay-in down the right baseline for Alabama. Tied 57, Dogs 51. Wheeler through traffic, draws a crowd, reverses it out on the wing to Horn, over to Johnson. He rips another 3, high left wing, NBA 3, KD.
KD owed us that one after trying to feed that ball through the legs of those defenders earlier. Just a poor decision.
Johnson now with 14, leading scorer for the Dogs. Alabama answers on the other end. Jackson Eder runs into the three-point shooter and knocks him down. He's called for a foul. And that'll put Keon Ellis at the free throw line. When we come back, he missed the 3, but he's got 3 free throws coming. It's a 3-point game now, 57-54. Alabama leading the Dogs with 11:31 to go. And we'll come back to Athens right after this on the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
Hey, Dog fans. Coach Kirby Smart here. Do you have a game plan for flu season? Get ahead of the competition by getting a flu shot at Piedmont. It's the smart thing to do. Stop by any Piedmont primary care, quick care, or urgent care location and stay healthy all season long. Visit piedmont.org/UGA to learn more and book online. Piedmont Healthcare, more ways to better.
The Dogs are heard right here. This is the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
Hey Bulldog fans, Coach Smart here. My friends at Georgia United Credit Union now offer Georgia Bulldogs Visa debit cards. Now you can show your team pride everywhere you go and spend. Pick your favorite design and score yours today. Georgia United makes banking easy, friendly, and smart for busy members like myself. Attack the day with a free checking account that pays big interest. It's the smart choice. Visit at gucu.org/go dogs for important account information. Insured by NCUA. Georgia United, the official credit union of Georgia Athletics.
At BMW, we made the ultimate range of SAVs. And because each of the 7 X-Range sports activity vehicles flawlessly balance dynamic power, spacious size, and sleek design, you can choose from a fleet that fits perfectly into your life. Like the versatile and bold X1, the unbelievably powerful X3, or the luxurious X7. No matter who you are, no matter where you're going, no matter what's next, there's an X to take you there.
Proud sponsor of Georgia Athletics. Visit BMWATL.com for great offers. Go Dogs!
No one gets you closer to SEC sports than SiriusXM. You can tune into all your favorite shows on SEC Radio. You get conference news, conference analysis, and lots more from off-season through postseason. Your team is covered anywhere you go. And now you can try them out for free. Get a free trial to take your team with you on your phone, online, and at home. So start listening at SiriusXM.com/SECSXM.
And Scott, one of the things we got to start finishing around the basket. We're missing too many opportunities at close range, and Alabama's not. When they get in there, they hit it. So we can't let them get in there and do that and knock down threes, which they've been doing in the second half.
Dogs are 5 of 12 on layups, Chuck, and Alabama 13 of 21. That tells you how much they're attacking the basket. Although they've missed 8 layup attempts, the Dogs have missed 7 on fewer tries. Alabama at the foul line. 3 free throws coming for Keon Ellis, 6'6", junior college transfer from Eustis, Florida. Right-handed shooter. Free throw number 1 is good. He's 72% as he swishes that one.
I got to tell you, that looked like better than a 72% free throw shooter.
The students are trying to hypnotize him from behind the basket, spinning those, whatever those things are called. And it worked that time as Ellis fires it up too deep. It misses off the back iron.
And that looked like a 52% free throw shooter there.
Spin him again. Come on, students. Make him miss. Ellis, third and final free throw, all net. He made 2 out of 3. 59-54, Alabama. Dogs trail by 5. We've got the ball. Wheeler with a floater from the left edge of the lane. Hit the back of the rim, no good. Rebound, Alabama. Dogs tried a quick shot with Xavier. Reese has it for Alabama in the left corner. One hands the ball to Petty, skips it, short hops it, and throws it out of bounds on the near side. Petty's saying that was on him, although the ball short hopped him right in front, and he had the glove on the wrong hand. 59-54, tied by 5. Dogs with the balls will bring it in the length of the floor. 11-11 to go in the game. Horn inbounds to Wheeler. Through the logo and into the front court. Wheeler with a left-hand dribble. Slow. Quinterly guards. Wheeler attacks. Down the lane. Jump pass into the right corner. Horn for 3. Buries it right corner 3. PJ. 59-57. Horn with his second 3 of the game. Reese all alone underneath. Quinterly whips a pass right down the lane. No gray shirts there, and an easy lay-in for Alabama.
We forgot all about him. Just left him alone.
Reese with his first basket. That was an easy one. There was nobody guarding.
Yeah,
61-57 tie.
We had the perimeter covered.
Dogs attack with Wheeler again. Leaves it short. Layup. Garcia rebound. Jump hook won't go. Fight for the loose ball. Alabama gets it with Petty. Half-court pass up the front, up into the front court to Primo. Primo through the lane. He's called for traveling. The freshman Josh Primo, 6'6" from Canada, turns it over for Alabama. Dogs get it back with 10:24 remaining, down 4, 61-57. Horn to inbound to Wheeler in the backcourt. They're the only 2 there. PJ standing next to the official, Pat Adams, who's cradling the basketball in his left arm. Dog substitute, get Justin Kier into the game. We've got KD, Kamara, Kier, Horn, and Wheeler. Our 5 on the floor. Alabama with Quinterly, Ellis, Bruner, Petty, and Primo. Kier with the ball in the lane. Fouled just inside the free throw line. He was surrounded by crimson shirts. And Ellis whacked him on the arm in the act. That's the 3rd foul on Keon Ellis. The Alabama junior guard, and that'll put Justin on the free throw line for the Dogs. Kyer will go to the line for 2 shots here.
You know what? He almost, if that had been just a fraction of an inch higher, it had gone over that front iron and dropped in for him. It was a real soft shot.
I think Ellis was having some words with the official. He finally closes his mouth, which is the wise thing to do, as Kyer misses the free throw. And now Ellis will check out of the ball game. You don't want your player to get a technical because he's running his mouth. Kyer, second free throw, rattles that one in there. Makes 1 of 2. Kyer has 9. The lead is 3 for the Crimson Tide, 61-58. Quinterly gives it to Primo on the right side. The 3 ball is good as Primo knocks down a 3 over Kyer. Georgia attacks quickly. Out of the corner, here's Horn. Drives to the basket, blocked by Primo. They whistle a foul on the Alabama freshman, and he's amazed but won't argue the call.
No, a great aggressive play by PJ. Justin Kyer was set up right in front of us, begging for the pass back out for the 3. But PJ did the right thing. Went ahead and drew that foul. He knew he was going to get fouled. Went ahead and drew the foul. Took the chance that maybe he'd get the shot to go 2. It didn't, but nevertheless, he's got 2.
Georgia needs to start making foul shots, Chuck.
No
Just
doubt.
8 of 16 from the line.
There you go.
There's a all net by P.J. Horn in his first trip to the line today. Horn 77% on the year. That's only his 27th attempt all season. He's made 21 now. He's got 1 more free throw to come. It's a 5-point Alabama lead, 64-59. Second free throw by the right-hander from Tifton. Buries it. Swished them both. He's got 8, and it's a 4-point Tide lead, 64-60. Alabama in the front court down to our right. Big Bruner sets a screen. Quinterly leans into the straightaway 3. Buries it. All net Quinterly. It's his second 3 of the half, and that's their 5th three-pointer of the half. They had only 2 at intermission. 67-60 Alabama. Dogs get it into Kamara inside. Pump fake. Draws contact. Puts up the shot after the contact. It's no good. Go to the line and try to earn it there.
That's their 8th team foul. But we can't, we're in a situation where you can't trade 3s, for 2 free throws.
That you hope you make.
But I will say this. In the first half, we were out on their faces contesting those 3s. We're not doing that here in the second half.
Fouls on Bruner for Alabama, his second one, and Tumani. Well, see, there's that hope thing as we missed the foul shot. Georgia now just 10 of 19 at the free throw line. Alabama's only been there 8 times. They've only made 3 of theirs, but they're starting to hit 3-pointers. Kamara with a swish on the back end, makes 1 of 2. He's got 10 points in the game. It's a 6-point Alabama lead, 67-61. Quinterly pursued by a double team near half court. Gets the ball away. Shackelford 3 ball left corner. There we go.
And again, wide open 3.
Yeah, Tumani was late on the closeout. 70-61. Well, we came with a double team, so that's going to leave somebody open, and they found the open man. 9-point lead for the Crimson Tide. Now 9 of 20 on 3s. They're the best 3-point shooting team in the league. They didn't show it in the first half, but they did in the second. And Fagan on the deep drive under the basket steps on the baseline out of bounds. Unforced error, although he had a man guarding him tightly. Dogs turned it over. 19 turnovers in the game for Georgia now. Alabama has 18. Tied with the basketball. They lead by 9, 70-61. Herbert Jones works against Horn. Tries to spin for the left block. Into the paint. Reverse layup. Won't go. Rebound. Touched up. Tapped up. And there's a whistle and a foul on Tumani. Officials are going to discuss it. Who'd they get? Yep, they got Kamara. The hack on the arm, Pat Adams says. Tom Crean wants to know what's the call on the back on the other end of the floor. That's the 3rd on Kamara, and that'll put Herbert Jones on the line for Alabama. Georgia baseball winner over North Florida today, 6-0. As the free throw by Jones goes through the net, good. Jones had 2 at the half. He's got 10 in the game now. They've got 4 guys in double figures. That free throw is too deep. Back iron, rebound. Comes down to Horn for the Dogs. Gives it to KD. Johnson attacks, crossover, tucks and runs. Drops it off on the bounce to Kamara. He'll flush it home.
KD did a great job. As soon as the defense committed to him, he saw Tumani out of the corner, just hit him with that little bounce pass, wrap-around bounce pass.
Alabama moves the ball quickly to Quinterly. He runs through a man. They're going to get Tumani for another block. That's going to be 4th on Kamara. Quinterly laying on his back for Alabama, grabbing at a leg, grabbing at a knee. He's okay. They're going to help him up. If we see a replay on that one, let's take a look at it.
You saw it.
With the replay, it was a little bit late. I wanted to see if Tumani got to the spot first, because it was close. Charge or block. They called it a block. It goes against the Dogs. That's 4 on Kamara. And a hobbling Javon Quinterly will step to the foul line. 69% shooter for Alabama. And the right-hander strokes it home. All 9 of his points here in the second half for the Villanova transfer. Former McDonald's All-American. Kamara has to check out of the ball game with 8:11 to go. And his 4 fouls. Fagan is back in. Quinterly hits both free throws for Alabama. And their lead is double figures, 73-63. Dogs with the ball, down 10, 8 minutes to go. Wheeler works on the left side, hesitates on the dribble, now in the circle, crossover, penetrate, kick out into the right corner to Kyer. He dribbles it into the lane, feeds Fagan down low, a pump fake and a reverse lay-in. 4 guys fouled him, pick one, and Fagan made the bucket. Count it and send him to the line.
Justin Kyer, give him a great assist on that.
Boy, Alabama packs it in around the rim, don't they? 73-65 after the bucket by Fagan. He'll be at the foul line when we come back after the foul on Petty, his 3rd. Timeout in Athens, 7:50 remaining. Alabama leads Georgia 73-65 on the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
Northside Hospital reminds you to stay safe and stay healthy during the pandemic. It's easy to do a few simple things every day. Wash your hands frequently and disinfect hard surfaces in your home. Don't touch your eyes, nose, and mouth with unwashed hands. Always wear a mask in public and wash your hands before and after removing your mask. And if you're in a crowded place, stay at least 6 feet apart from others. For more information and CDC safety guidelines, go to northside.com/COVID-19.
Love getting prices that are lower than low on food that's fresher than fresh? Then shop at Kroger. We give you more ways to save on the fresh you love with tools like the Kroger app, where you can find personalized coupons on top of weekly sales, giving you prices that are lower than the everyday low. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Get more ways to save at the Buy 5 or More Save $1 each sale. Just buy 5 or more participating items and save $1 each with card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
To celebrate State Farm's surprisingly great rates, we gave this song surprisingly great lyrics.
Hey neighbors, when your claims get hard to file, State Farm's how to switch it up style. Great rates save you cash, so if you come join us, you'll get your coins up. Oh, now you know you can save that dough, and you're covered on your ride and your home. For great service on the low, then call up State Farm. It's time to switch it up.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Scana Energy is a proud partner of Georgia Athletics. For every 3-pointer scored by the Bulldogs, Scana Energy will make a $25 donation to the University of Georgia General Scholarship Fund. 8 threes by the Dogs today, 8 of 17 on Scana Energy 3-pointers. That raises our season total to 157, and a contribution of almost $4,000 from Scana Energy. Thank you very much. 73-65, Alabama leads by 8 with 7:50 remaining. And it's really a tale of two halves. Chuck, do you want me to tell you what Alabama's shooting in the second half? No peeking.
Listen, I know.
No peeking.
Huh?
No peeking.
Okay, I'm going to guess. It's
you already looked.
60. No, I have 64.
83%. They've made 15 of 18 shots. You believe that?
I know they've knocked down every open three. They haven't missed an open three.
Well, yeah, they're 7 of 8 on threes, yep. But 83% in the second half.
Yeah, the one we contested, they didn't hit.
Fagan's at the line for the Dogs. Clock stopped with 7:50. Free throw on the and one is good. He rolls it in there. 73-66. Georgia down 7. Alabama scorching hot here in the second half. Jones hands off to Primo on the right edge. The freshman will drive down the lane. Missed the initial shot. Tap up by Alabama. They missed it twice, but they get another offensive rebound. They'll try again. Shackelford bumping with Wheeler and finally called for the travel. And Shackelford hobbles a little bit after the travel call.
Boy, right now we had Justin Kier trying to guard the post. No wonder they were getting all those extra shots down there underneath. We have no size on the floor.
Both teams with
out.
19 turnovers in the game. Dogs with the ball. Wheeler attacks down the lane. Stops about 3 feet inside the foul line. Throws it up with the left hand. Good off one leg. Wheeler, his first field goal of the second half. That gives him a dozen points in the afternoon. It's 73-68. 5-point Alabama lead. Petty over Kier. Shoots a long jumper. Draws iron with it. And the rebound will bounce out of bounds into the far corner in the Alabama bench area, and Georgia will have the ball right there with 6:57 to go. And down.
It's amazing what a difference it makes in guys hitting jump shots when you get out and contest them.
So you're saying when you guard, good things could happen,
Good
right?
things can happen.
5-point lead for the Tide. Georgia has the ball. We're in our silver or gray uniforms today. Alabama in crimson. K.D. Johnson with the ball in his hands. The ball is orange, by the way. Here's a three. It's in the air, and it's off the rim. No good. Fagan went up for the rebound, but he couldn't pull it in with the second hand. Alabama has possession. Fagan almost got a tremendous rebound, but he couldn't get that second hand to clasp the basketball. And rolled off, and Alabama got it. Johnson pokes the ball away from Quinterly. They scramble for it. Wheeler's got it now for the Dogs. To the rack, lay-in. Blocked away by Alabama. Dogs wanted a goaltend from Jones. They don't get it.
Had it.
Ellis has got it on the other end for Alabama. Throws it up off the rim. No good under the bucket. Rebound, left baseline, Kier. All alone, KD on the other end of the floor. Johnson goes against Jones. Misses another lay-in. Alabama with a rebound. Shackelford down the lane. Lay-in from the left side. Going to roll in there good. They tugged on the net as well as the ball was still up on the rim. There was no whistle. Georgia quickly on the offensive end, now down 75-68. We slow it down.
These officials aren't aware of that rule, Scott.
We feed it into Fagan on a lob down low. Tide turns and scores off the backboard. Good. Yeah, tugging on that net may have helped it roll in down there on that last possession. 75-70. Uh-oh. Quinterly left all alone, drives for an easy lay-in. That looked like warm-ups. That's how wide open and easy it was to lay it in.
KD turned around and was looking at one of his teammates going, somebody was supposed to get him. Well, you think?
5:13, clock ticking, time remaining in the ballgame. 77-70, Alabama. Lob to Fagan. He's blocked by Jones and Quinterly. Get it back out to Wheeler. Xavier attacks. Sweeping scoop layup. Good. That's that patented move from the left side. Scoops it up high off the glass, and it went. 14 for Xavier. 77-72. It's a 5-point game. Alabama with the ball. Less than 5 minutes to play. Quinterly dribbles through the legs, back and forth. Got a screen. Got Kier off his back. Feeds Petty down on the block. And we reach in, try to tie him up or try to strip the ball, and we get called for a foul instead. K.D. Johnson. Johnson with his third.
He said they gave him 2 shots?
Yes.
For what?
For being Alabama.
It wasn't shooting. There was a pass. I grant that. Oh,
maybe he had the intent to shoot.
He had thought about shooting.
They're getting in his brain. They're getting in his mind.
Had practiced shooting? Seriously?
Yeah, Petty will get 2 here. Free throw number 1. Left side of the rim, no good.
That ought to be. Oh my goodness.
Kamara back in, Horn and K.D. Johnson out, and we brought Garcia back in as well. Petty will get a second free throw here. 76% shooter. Missed one, made one. He's got 13, and it's 78-72 tied. 2-possession game with 4:35 remaining. Wheeler's got the ball. Offensive end for the Dogs. The Georgia guard will drop it off to Garcia at the elbow. He'll keep the ball, dribble it with the left hand, spin down to the restricted zone, reverse pivot, jump hook won't go, rebound loose in the corner, picked up by Ellis for Alabama.
And that's another one of those point-blank shots we missed.
Man, we've missed a bunch of those. But Alabama defends those. That's part of the reason why we missed so many. Quinterly explodes by Kyer, got a step on Justin and got to the rack and laid it up. It's 80-72 now. Alabama by 8 with less than 4 minutes to play. Wheeler's in trouble, right edge of the lane. Through the lane, the pass goes to Fagan. He lost it. Got away from him in the left corner. Dogs turn it over. That's our 20th. Both teams have 20, as a matter of fact. Alabama's just done a little bit more with theirs than we have with ours. And I'm talking about turnovers received. We'll take a break. 3:50 to go in the game. It's Alabama 80, Georgia 72 on the Bulldogs Sports Network.
The SEC taught us that it's easy to love winning, but that the best of the best know where to look for the win, even in losing. Because setbacks are an inevitable part of almost any endeavor, and the hardest lessons are the ones that teach us the most. As the official bank of the SEC, at Regions, we believe every day is a good day to dig deeper. What has the SEC taught you? Join the conversation with hashtag SEC Lessons. Regions Bank. Member FDIC.
Don't go anywhere. The Dogs are coming right back. You're listening to the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
At Subway restaurants, deals are delicious. And right now, you can choose from 2 great deals on delicious meals. Get a 6-inch cold cut combo, spicy Italian or Black Forest ham, plus chips in a 20-ounce drink for just $6. Or choose a 6-inch chicken and bacon ranch melt, sweet onion chicken teriyaki, or steak and cheese, plus chips in a 20-ounce drink for just $7. Either way, you get a great deal on a delicious meal. Only at Subway restaurants. Limited time only at participating restaurants. Additional charge for extras, plus applicable tax. No additional discounts or coupons may be applied.
Northside Hospital reminds you to stay safe and stay healthy during the pandemic. It's easy to do a few simple things every day. Wash your hands frequently and disinfect hard surfaces in your home. Don't touch your eyes, nose, and mouth with unwashed hands. Always wear a mask in public and wash your hands before and after removing your mask. And if you're in a crowded place, stay at least 6 feet apart from others. For more information and CDC safety guidelines, go to northside.com/COVID-19.
This in-game recap is brought to you by Regions. Get the Georgia Bulldogs Visa check card from Regions. Visit regions.com/GoDogs to order yours today. Georgia had a 14-point lead in the first half, led by 6 at intermission. Alabama quickly erased that in the second half. They've led by as much as 10 here in this half. And the Dogs are just trying to play catch up or keep up here in the second half as Alabama's shooting 69%. They've hit 7 of 8 threes in this half. They were up over 80%. They were 15 of 18 from the field.
They've just, I'll tell you, they've wiped us out on the glass here down the stretch. I mean, that was a stat that had been very tight all afternoon, and now they've pulled away they've got, I think, 10 more rebounds than we do.
Alabama with 5 players in double figures, led by Shackelford and Quinterly with 14 each. Georgia has 3 players in double figures with Johnson and Wheeler leading with 14. Tumani has 12 points in the ballgame. Both teams with a lot of turnovers, each team with 20 turnovers in this contest. Alabama has 10 second chance points. That doesn't sound like a lot, but when you compare it to Georgia, who has only 2, it is a lot.
Oh, yeah, it makes a huge difference. I mean, you're getting those second chance opportunities, which primarily you can point to their offensive rebounds, which they have doubled up on us. Twice as many offensive rebounds as we've had.
Alabama will have the ball. They have an 8-point lead, 3:48 to go. Quinterly will jog it into the front court, left to right. Quinterly picked up by Wheeler. Feeds it to Jones at the foul line. Across the foul line, back to Ellis above the three-point line straight away. They get it back over to Herbert Jones. Tall overhead pass to Ellis. Yeah, he dragged his feet and called for the travel.
He's going like, what did I do? Well, you didn't dribble.
The JUCO transfer. Apparently in junior college, you may not have to dribble all the time.
Maybe, and the ball there may be stuffed, not inflated.
Ellis turns it over for the tie. Georgia will get it back. We need to cash in on the opportunity. We're down 8 with 3.5 to play. Wheeler, long drive down the left side of the lane. His layup attempt is blocked out of bounds by Jawan Gary, who was injured earlier in the ballgame when he fell to the floor at a full sprint on his knee. Had to be assisted from the floor. And now re-entering the ballgame with a sleeve on that right knee. Fagan and Garcia exit for Georgia. The Dogs have KD, Johnson, Kamara, Horn, Kyer, and Wheeler on the floor. 3:26 remaining. It's 80-72 tied. Wheeler looks on the inbounds, throws it in straight ahead, top of the key to Horn. Wheeler's got it back now, mishandles the dribble, scrambles to get to the ball first. Wheeler, crossover, works against Jones. One-handed pass to Kyer. Shot fake on the 3, 9 to shoot. Dogs move it quickly. KD for 3, too much on it. High rebound, tapped and saved by Shackelford on the left baseline for Alabama.
Yeah, we cannot get an offensive rebound. We just try as we might.
We've got 7 today. Alabama has 13. 80-72 tied. They're not in a real big hurry here with 2:48 to go. Jones guarded by Xavier. Wheeler tries to back the little guy down. Whips it out to Quinterly with 5 to shoot. He goes by Kamara. Tumani recovers and blocks the layup attempt. 1 second on the shot clock as Alabama got their blocked rejection, but then didn't get a shot off as the clock continued down. So a shot clock violation on the Tide. Dogs will get it on the Alabama turnover. Down 8 with 2:35 to play. We got to start getting some points in these possessions. Johnson across to Kyer. They work on the right side of the floor. Tumani holds, spins the ball in his hands, gives it to Horn straight away. Quick feed to Wheeler. Wheeler spins in the circle at the elbow, spins again, scoop shot with spin, good off the window.
Man.
What a move, Xavier Wheeler.
How does he not get dizzy with those spins, huh?
2 spins and then beautiful spin off the ball that just kissed in on the right spot off the backboard. 80-74. Foul called on Georgia down to the right end of the floor. They get Wheeler a slap on the arm.
Are they going to say that was a shooting foul? I mean, they've called everything else a shooting foul. I just want to.
Well, 1-1, I hope.
Well, you'd think. I'd have thought the other one would have been 2, but.
Oh, it's 1-1. Quinterly at the line for 1-1. 69% free throw shooter this season, and that one is good. That one was perfect. Quinterly has 15 points in the ball game for Alabama today, all here in the second half. He and Jones have really picked it up in the second half. Both foul shots are good. 16 for Quinterly. He's their leading scorer. He averages 12 a game, 3rd best on the team. But today he's at the top of the heap. 82-74, 8-point lead for Alabama. 2 minutes to go in the ball game. Wheeler going to handle the ball, take it all the way in. They tip his lay-in, but it goes in anyway. They tipped it as it came out of his hands, but it didn't have enough on it. Wheeler had a strong attempt. He's got 18. 82-76. Now we need some stops like we had in the first half. We haven't had many of those in the second. Jones runs through Kyer, stops in the paint. Reverse pivot, kick out Shackelford, 3, off the rim, no good. Rebound Kamara with 2 hands to Wheeler. Long baseball pass to Johnson. He goes against Jones, takes him to the rack. There was contact, but he lays it up and in anyway.
And they wouldn't blow the whistle on that.
They did not. He didn't get the foul. He got the bucket. Shackelford on the other end, Euro step, no good. They let him play through. Dogs tip out the rebound. It's a 4-point game, minute 16 to go. Johnson, terrific pass to Kamara. He gets fouled on the layup attempt. Johnson coming towards the left corner, dropped it off backwards away from his body on the bounce to Kamara, who went up for the lay-in and got fouled. He'll go to the line here with the clock stopped at 1:13.
Oh, man, if this could have been a 3-point play, whoo! But knock them both down, and it's a 2-point ball game.
Kamara 1 for 3 from the line today. The left-hander from Belgium. Free throw all net, good. 13 points in the game for Tumani. He's playing with 4 fouls, by the way, and has been for a while. 7 rebounds as well today for the Georgia sophomore. 82-79, 3-point Alabama lead. Minute 13 remaining. Kamara, second free throw attempt in the air. Off the rim, no good. Rebound, Alabama. Tide will take it into the front court. 109 to go. 108, 107. Shackelford walks it into the front court right now. Alabama spreads them out. Georgia matched up in a man-to-man. Less than a minute to play. Tide with a 3-point lead. It's a one-possession game. Quinterly to Shackelford. Leans in on the drive. Kills the dribble. Back out to Quinterly. Kyer guarding with 6 to 5. They will shoot a 3. Right side is good. Ellis got a 3. That stings with 44 seconds to go. Georgia attacks quickly. Wheeler will back it out. Give it to Tumani. Kamara crossover to the rack. Misses the running layup with Jones guarding. Alabama with the rebound. 32 seconds to go. It's a 6-point Alabama lead. That 3 ball was a killer. Georgia fouls inside the half-court line. Wheeler puts his hands on Quinterly to stop the clock. Let's pause 10 seconds. Station identification on the Bulldogs Sports Network. Ninth team foul on the Dogs. 1-1 for Quinterly here. Free throw is good. So he'll get the bonus try as Alabama stretches it out with 28 seconds to go. It's a 7-point lead now. That 3 by Ellis was just an absolute killer.
No doubt. And give them credit. They knocked it down when they had to.
Quinterly buries both free throws as well. Dog fans, Rocket Mortgage is a proud mortgage partner of Georgia Athletics. If you want the competitive advantage to score a new home, Rocket can. Wheeler rockets down the floor, misses a driving layup, rebound to Alabama, and a foul by Kyer against John Petty. So Petty and Alabama will go back to the free throw line. Alabama trying to wrap it up here with 18.8 to go. 87-79. Dogs. Really good defense in the first half, not as much in the second half. Alabama shot 63% here in the half. Petty, free throw, good. Did you know that right now Geico's offering an extra 15% credit on car, motorcycle, and RV policies? That's on top of what Geico could already save you. So what are you waiting for? Visit geico.com to learn more. Petty knocks home both free throws. And Alabama's lead is 10 with 18 seconds to go. Wheeler will inbound Wheeler will take the inbounds and bring it into the front court. As soon as he crosses half court, he asks for the timeout. So Georgia will call the time, and we will too with 15.9 to go. Media timeout. Alabama 89, Georgia 79. Back after this, Bulldog Sports Network.
Put on your red and black, grab your foam finger, and get ready to unleash the dogs. Scana Energy is a proud partner of the Georgia Bulldogs. Every day is a dog day here, so get loud, Georgia. Join Scana Energy as we unleash the savings and cheer our team to glory this basketball season. Call 877-GO-SCANA or visit scanaenergy.com to save.
Hey, Bulldogs, so you're probably cheering on your team from your living room, which might double as your home office, and maybe even a bedroom. Well, with rates at historic lows, it's a great time to refinance with Rocket Mortgage and get cash out of your home. Cash which you could use to remodel a spare room into the ultimate fan cave. When you're ready to upgrade your home court, Rocket can. Get started at rocketmortgage.com. Rocket Mortgage, proud mortgage partner of Georgia Athletics.
Call for cost information and conditions. Take deposit lender license in all 50 states. NMLSconsumeraccess.org, number 3030.
Even before the victory celebration is over, great teams are back at it the next day, working to get even better. The team at Ford understands how hard work and dedication pay off. Over the last 30 years, Ford Explorer has been America's best-selling SUV. In fact, all Ford SUVs, like Explorer, Escape, and Edge, are built for victory. Score a great offer today at your local Ford dealer. Based on total cumulative OEM reported U.S. sales for all SUVs from calendar year 1990 through calendar year 2019.
Along with Chuck Dowdle, Scott Howard back courtside at Stegman Coliseum. Adam Gillespie is our producer-engineer here on site. Zach Jewell in the Piedmont Healthcare Network studios for us today. And Alabama has a 10-point lead with 15.9 seconds to go. Too much tide in the second half. The Dogs certainly couldn't stem it. Alabama shooting 63% in the second half. They scored 59 second-half points. Xavier Wheeler has his 7th double-double of the year, by the way. 18 points and 10 assists. His 7th game with 10 or more assists. The Dogs will inbound, far sideline in the front court, throw it into KD. Johnson dribbles with the left hand hard, attacks the rack, misses the running layup. Ellis with the rebound. KD may have tweaked the knee or something. He's hobbling. Alabama will throw it into the front court and dribble out the clock, and they'll get the win 89-79, as that's your final this afternoon. And on the last play of the game, Johnson.
Yeah, he's walking off okay, but
a little bit better, but
yeah,
may have tweaked the knee there on that last play, that last drive to the basket. So your final score, Alabama rallies for the win, 89-79. They trailed by 14 in the first half, by 6 in intermission, and then their hot shooting in the second half propels them to a 10-point victory. Alabama 21-6. As the Dogs threatened to upset the 8th-ranked Crimson Tide, but couldn't pull it off today. And Alabama, your regular season SEC champions for the first time in 19 seasons, finishes the SEC schedule at 16-2, Chuck. Pretty impressive.
Yeah, pretty impressive. And listen, you watch them play, and they are impressive. They shoot the ball well. I'll tell you what they do extremely well is they work the ball around to find that open. It looks like they look like an NBA team. You know how an NBA team will swing the ball? I mean, they see everybody on the floor, find that open man, and get that uncontested shot. We did a great job first half of contesting them on their threes. Then they started going inside. That's what they started to do then toward the end of the first half, and they cut into our lead. Well, then in the second half, we tried to tighten that up, and they started finding the open man for the three outside, and then they come out and take the lead and never look back. Look, we made some great runs. I think Georgia showed, I should think they showed the nation today, game being televised on the Big I network, that they can play with anybody. Georgia can play. They just, we are just so close. Our margin of error is so thin that if we make too many mistakes, it just, it puts us in a position that we can't overcome. And we saw that here this afternoon.
And probably our size or lack of hurt us today.
No doubt.
9 of 21 on layup attempts today.
Yeah, and those are contested, inside with length. And then they out-rebounded us by 12. That, again, another example of size advantage. And Alabama's not a huge team, but they're bigger than we are.
89-79, the final. Alabama defeats Georgia. They win their 4th in a row in this series, and they sweep this season series. Georgia now with the loss 14-11 for the year. We close out the regular season 7-11 in the SEC. The Dogs will play Thursday night in the SEC tournament in Nashville at 7 o'clock. That is a given. We just don't know the opponent as of this point, but Georgia will play in the night session on Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time in Nashville. Didn't go the Dogs' way this afternoon. 89-79, Alabama a winner. Stay tuned for our post-game coverage. It's brought to you by Regions. Get the Georgia Bulldogs Visa check card from Regions. Visit regions.com/GoDogs to order yours today. We're back to Athens and Stegman Coliseum right after this on the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
Though this basketball season may look a little different, you can still grab an ice-cold, refreshing Dos Equis for tip-off and cheer your team on from anywhere. So no matter where you are, remember nothing goes better with basketball than a smooth and refreshing cerveza. Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Introducing the Cash Pop Win One, Give One giveaway, where you get to choose who wins with you. So you could win a new car and tell us who should win one too. How about $5,000 for both you and someone else? Or a year of free rent or mortgage for you and someone you pick. It's up to you. Just play Cash Pop on your phone, online, or register your non-winning ticket from the store at playcashpop.com. Win One, Give One happens February 1st to March 7th. So spread some win around with Cash Pop from the Georgia Lottery. Play responsibly.
This is Georgia Basketball, sponsored by Progressive. Drivers who save with Progressive save over $750 on average.
Every Bulldog fan knows that playing at home is an advantage, but when you're ready for a home, the competition can be fierce. A verified approval letter from Rocket Mortgage can help. It tells sellers that your offer is good, helping your bid compete with cash buyers and giving you an edge in the home buying market. So when your finances need a home court advantage, Rocket can. Get started at rocketmortgage.com. Rocket Mortgage, proud mortgage partner of Georgia Athletics.
A verified approval is based on an underwriter's analysis of your individual financial information and title report. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender license in all 50 states and on westconsumeraccess.org number 3030.
At BMW, we made the ultimate range of SAVs. And because each of the 7 X-Range sports activity vehicles flawlessly balance dynamic power, spacious size, and sleek design, you can choose from a fleet that fits perfectly into your life. Like the versatile and bold X1, the unbelievably powerful X3, or the luxurious X7. No matter who you are, no matter where you're going, no matter what's next, there's an X to take you there.
Proud sponsor of Georgia Athletics. Visit BMWATL.com for great offers. Go Dogs!
On the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network, welcome to the Locker Room Report, presented by Regions. Regions. Get the Georgia Bulldogs Visa check card from Regions. Visit regions.com/GoDogs to order yours today. Coming up, reaction from the Dogs locker room, stats, and a look again at other games around the SEC and across the country. Now, let's go back courtside.
Welcome back on this Saturday afternoon to the Regions Locker Room Report, where you can get the Georgia Bulldogs Visa check card from Regions. Visit regions.com/GoDogs to order yours today. 89-79 as we welcome you back inside Stegman Coliseum. Alabama, the SEC's regular season champion, a winner today over Georgia to improve to 21-6 for the year, 16-2 in the SEC. Georgia at 14-11 for the regular season and 7-11 in conference play. This was really a difference in two halves. It was almost as if Alabama took them a half to get geared up. They came out in the second half down 6 and scored 9 straight, Chuck, and after that we never had the lead anymore. They scored 9 straight points to take the lead and never surrendered it in the last 18, 19 minutes of the game.
Yeah, and give them credit. They were down. They finished the first half on a nice little run to cut our 14-point lead that we had held earlier in the first half down to 6 going in at intermission, and then they came out to start the second half and picked it up right where they had left it off in the first half, got out ahead, and then from that point on we were trying to claw our way back into it, and any little error we made was magnified at that point when you're trying to crawl out of a hole. They opened it up. We did make some runs. Give Georgia credit for that. We tried to make it a game there in the last minute and 30 seconds. And, there were a lot of uneasy folks sitting over there. There were some folks on that Alabama bench that could sit on a dime over there and tell you what year it was minute. I mean, they knew that they were in a game there with about 90 seconds to play, but they hit a clutch shot. When they had to, they did. And that's what great teams do. So that's what championship teams do, I should say. And they are a championship team. They won the SEC regular season. I don't think they'll win the tournament. I'm going to say that now. I think Arkansas will win the SEC tournament. But we'll see.
Alabama is such a good offensive team, very efficient. They lead the league in scoring in conference games, over 81 points a ball game. They had only 30 at halftime, and they exceeded their average by 8 points. At the end of it. That just shows you, what they could score. They scored 59 in the second half. They scored 64 in the second half against the Dogs in that first meeting, and, of course, scored 115 in that one. Didn't get to the century mark this afternoon, but still 59 points and a half is is going to keep you or win a lot of ball games for you.
Yes, it will. But, hey, I give them credit. They get open shots. I mean, I've never seen a team that gets as many just great looks as they get. Wide open looks.
There's a lot of veteran players on that team. They kind of know what to do, even though their head coach is only in his second year. But he's instructed them very well.
Second year here at Alabama.
Yes, and they work very well within the confines of what he wants them to do.
Yep, and they play fast. They play an entertaining brand of basketball. I mean, you can see why Alabama fans came over to this building tonight, or this afternoon, I should say, to watch them play because, they're fun to watch. If you're pulling for Alabama, that's a fun team to watch. They get up and down the floor. They put the ball in the air, and more likely than not, they're going to knock down the shot.
Alabama closed the game on a 7-0 run, and they sealed it really with the Keon Ellis 3 with how much time was left on the clock?
Just under a minute, I think.
Less than a minute to go.
Yeah, less than a minute when he hit that. But had he not hit that, I mean, it was a 3-point game.
Yeah, it was certainly up for grabs until that 3 ball went in for
we
Ellis.
had a chance. We had keep in mind, with about 1:15 to play, we had Tumani Kamara at the line with an opportunity to hit 2 free throws and cut it to 2 points. He hit 1, so that left it at 3. They go down the floor. They work it around, and I'm telling you, it was deep in the clock when they finally did find the open shot they needed, but they hit it.
Georgia struggled at the foul line today, just 57%. We missed 10, 13 of 23. Alabama didn't shoot extremely well themselves. They missed 7. They were 65% from the line, but Alabama certainly rolled in the second half. 63% from the field and 80% from threes. They were 8 of 10 on three-pointers in the second half, and they go on to an 89-79 win over Georgia. And they'll play again on Friday as the number 1 seed in the SEC tournament in Nashville. Georgia will be the 10 seed, and we'll play Thursday night at 7 o'clock against a team to be determined.
And listen, I understand a 10 seed that's not something you brag about. But when you look at where Georgia had been picked in the preseason at 13th in the conference, for them to finish 10th and really had a chance to move up some today, had Kentucky lost to South Carolina, that didn't happen. But, that's, you took it out of your hands, put it in somebody else's hands, and you don't want to do that either. So Georgia had its chances. But nevertheless, the last part of this season, I think Georgia played extremely well, given our size limitations. But I thought we've done so much better. And that first half we played against Alabama may have been the best half of basketball that we've played all season.
Dogs fall by 10 to the Tide, however, 89-79 our final. This is the Regions Locker Room Report brought to you by Regions, where you can get the Georgia Bulldogs Visa check card. Visit regions.com/GoDogs to order yours today. Chuck and I will continue. We'll catch up with Coach Crean in just a little bit. We'll run down the final numbers from this afternoon's ball game as well. We'll select our IBEW Player of the Game when we roll on here on the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
The SEC taught us that there's nothing like game day in Athens. And if you're all about the black and red, there's nothing like having the Georgia Bulldogs Visa check card from Regions in your wallet. As the official bank of the SEC, Regions is here to help you pull for your team with everything you've got. To order your card, visit regions.com/GoDogs. Regions, member FDIC. Terms, conditions, and fees may apply.
Across the Northside Hospital system, our surgeons have decades of experience with routine and complex surgeries. Today, Northside leads the Southeast in innovative procedures. Since 2005, we've performed nearly 40,000 robotic surgeries. Our board-certified surgeons are acclaimed for non-invasive techniques. Their confidence and compassion await you at Northside. For complex surgeries, choose the best surgeons. Learn more at northside.com.
This is Georgia Basketball, sponsored by Progressive. Drivers who save with Progressive save over $750 on average.
Libman makes a difference. The Libman Mop Crew is part of our winning team. The Libman Mop Crew makes sure the hardwood is clean and safe for players every game at Stegman Coliseum. No matter what kind of flooring you have at your home court, Libman has the tools to keep it clean. Our mops, brooms, and brushes are proudly family-made in the USA. Visit Libman.com to see our whole lineup and for a store locator. That's Libman.com.
Yeah, this season I actually had little business cards made. Eric Rubino, Fantasy Baseball GM. You can keep that. Sure, the players are famous, but come game day, I decide their fate. What's that? Oh, you make $20 million? Well, I don't like your attitude. You benched! No, I'd never bench an all-star, but I could. That's also why I like Progressive's Name Your Price tool. With options based on my budget, they never throw me a curveball. That's a little baseball reference for you.
Get options based on your budget with Progressive, even if you're not a legend in your own mind. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Kamara misses the tap-in, gets his own miss. Turnaround jumper off the rim again. We miss again. Dogs with a steal. Rojas got the rebound, and Wheeler poked it away. Georgia attacks. Johnson for three. Good! Got it! There's your ultimate drive of the game, driven by BMW. Great performance on and off the track, or on or off the court, is why your local Atlanta area BMW centers are the official luxury vehicle of Georgia athletics. Visit BMWATL.com for details, and go Dogs. As we welcome you back to the Regions Locker Room Report, brought to you by Regions. Get the Georgia Bulldogs Visa check card from Regions by visiting regions.com/GoDogs to order yours today. 89-79, our final from Athens today. Alabama, a winner over Georgia. The Dogs gave them fits in the first half, certainly, and gave them a good go in the second half as Alabama scored 9 straight to erase a 6-point halftime deficit. They never trailed after that 9-0 run to start the second half. The Dogs got to within 3 a handful of times, and then Alabama buries a 3 late in the ball game with the outcome still in the balance. Keon Ellis 3 with less than a minute to go that pretty much wrapped it up for the Crimson Tide. They finished the game on a 7-0 run, and they win it by 10, 89-79 to improve their record to 21-6 on the year at 16-2 in the league. Georgia with the loss now at 14-11 and 7-11 in the conference. We go into Nashville in the SEC tournament as the number 10 seed, and we'll play Thursday night at 7 p.m. Eastern. We'll be on the air with you from Nashville, believe it or not, at 6:35 Eastern time. Glad to be able to get out of the house, so to speak, with Georgia basketball, as the Dogs will be at the Bridgestone Arena to take on an opponent to be determined on Thursday night, 7 p.m. Let's select our IBEW player of the game, and Chuck and I discussed it during the break, and we like Xavier Wheeler, 18 points and 10 assists today. Another double-double for the sophomore from Houston, his 7th of the season, also his 7th game this year with 10 or more assists, as he leads the Southeastern Conference in assists, now with 180, as he continues to build on that Georgia single-season assist record. He will
fun to watch. Shatter it as the season goes along. Even in losing efforts, that young man's he is absolutely worth the price of admission.
What are your thoughts on how he has developed over this year and where he is now compared to where he was when the season ended last year?
Oh, he's definitely.
You could kind of see it evolving last year, couldn't you?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, you could, and you knew that if that's a young man that's going to be here for all 4 years. I fully believe that, and he is just fun to watch. He is cat quick. He's got that uncanny ability to handle the ball so rapidly, to get around defenders, but he never loses sight of his teammates anywhere else on the court, sometimes behind him. He will learn. Occasionally I see him make what is a spectacular play when a good play would have sufficed, and he'll learn that. One that comes to mind is just a couple of weeks ago where he drove in. He had the ball to lay up in his left hand right at the glass, but he saw to the corner of his eye Tumani Kamara coming behind him. He threw it back to Tumani, who slammed it, which is a much more spectacular play, and however, that was not the right play, and the safest play was you were right there. Just lay it off the glass and get your 2.
But not quite as entertaining.
Not as entertaining, no. and so, for that part, I was happy. I was happy to see that it was. But you risk the pass, you risk the ball coming out of somebody's hands with the dunk. I mean, there are a number of things that could go wrong with that. But, it didn't, and that was great. But he is learning every single time he steps on the floor and just does so many great things. And his teammates love him because he finishes when he doesn't finish at the rim, he finds them. Or when he doesn't finish at the rim, he gets to the line. He's got to be a headache for opposing teams.
Well, it's what you want from a point guard. You want that guy to make the other guys on your team good or better.
Yeah.
And he certainly does.
You know what, though? That's helped him, too. It's helped him in that last year when he would find guys, they couldn't finish, so you don't get an assist for that. Now he's got guys that can finish. When he gets the ball to them, Tumani's a great example of guys who improved greatly, and he now will finish. Well, that gets an assist to Severe. So he's much better. When he finds those guys, they score. So that gets an assist to him, and that looks good in the stat book. But I'll tell you, he is just a pleasure to watch. And you know what else, too? He's a good leader. In fact, I saw he did an interview with John Frierson for the little program that we get prior to every game. And he talked about the fact that he comes from a family of 6. He's got 5 siblings, and he's the oldest. And so he has learned what communication works with. He's had to be the kind of the leader of that group, and he's been very good at learning how, one method doesn't fit all. And so he knows, hey, I can motivate this player doing this. I can motivate this guy doing this. And he's really plugged that in on the floor.
Today, Wheeler, who is our IBEW player of the game selection, led Georgia with 18 points. He was 7 of 17 from the field. Came up empty on his three-point shots, 0 for 3, hit 4 of 5 free throws, and had 10 assists, so another double-double for Xavier Wheeler. He also had 3 steals this afternoon and then 4 turnovers in the ball game. But the 5'10 sophomore from Houston had a nice effort for the Dogs today, and he is our IBEW player of the game. Dogs fall short to Alabama this afternoon, 89-79, and we'll continue with the Regions Locker Room report from Stegman Coliseum in Athens. Final time we're here this year as the Dogs fall by 10 to the Crimson Tide. Now we head into the SEC tournament in Nashville next week, and the Dogs will play Thursday night at 7 o'clock Eastern time. For you folks that are interested, we'll be back right after this timeout on the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
Introducing the Cash Pop Win One, Give One giveaway, where you get to choose who wins with you. So you could win a new car and tell us who should win one too. How about $5,000 for both you and someone else? Or a year of free rent or mortgage for you and someone you pick? It's up to you. Just play Cash Pop on your phone, online, or register your non-winning ticket from the store at playcashpop.com. Win One, Give One happens February 1st to March 7th. So spread some win around with Cash Pop from the Georgia Lottery. Play responsibly.
Make your first play of the season a smart one. Get a fast and easy sports physical right around the corner from Piedmont Quick Care at Walgreens. With 27 locations offering extended hours and most open 7 days a week, you can book online to get in, get out, and get on your way to a championship year. Visit piedmont.org/UGA to schedule a sports physical today. Patient care services provided by Piedmont Healthcare. Piedmont Quick Care at Walgreens. One stop to better.
This is the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
At Community Coffee, we've been making great tasting coffee for over 100 years. But what makes us different isn't just how long we've been around, it's how far we're willing to go in pursuit of the perfect cup. We select only the finest beans and use over 4 generations of family roasting experience to give you the richest, most delicious coffee around. Find Community Coffee at your local grocery store or visit communitycoffee.com to order some today.
If I learned one thing from this great game of baseball, it's that she'll humble you. You think you've got it figured out, you check the standings, and you're in last place again. I'm Eric Rubino, Fantasy Baseball GM, and I can put my team in position to win every single time, but I can't play the games, people. At least Progressive's Name Your Price tool has options based on my budget. It never lets me down, unlike my pitching staff. Amateurs!
Get options based on your budget with Progressive, even if you're not a legend in your own mind. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
The Regions Bank Locker Room Report continues now from the Piedmont Healthcare Studios. Zach Joe with you as we get you caught up on scores around the nation. Starting with the SEC, two of their games gone final so far. Auburn over Mississippi State, 78-71, and Kentucky with a huge 92-64 win at home against South Carolina. One game in progress right now. Up in Como, Missouri leads LSU 57-56 with 12:02 to go in the second half there. And still to come later, Texas A&M will play only their second game since January 30th. They visit 12th-ranked Arkansas tonight at 5, and Ole Miss will host Vanderbilt at 7. To the top 25, a few finals from earlier. 20th-ranked Loyola Chicago over Indiana State in the MVC tournament semifinals. 65-49 the score there. 11th-ranked Florida State falls at Notre Dame 83-73. 23rd-ranked Purdue over Indiana 67-58. And number 17, Oklahoma State with the upset win at 6th-ranked West Virginia 85-80. Got a few games going on as we speak right now. 1:43 to go in the second half. They're tied in Rhode Island. Providence and 10th-ranked Villanova tied at 50 at Alumni Hall in Rhode Island. Providence, Rhode Island there. 8:03 to go in the first. Number 7, Ohio State trails number 4, Illinois 25-20. That game at Ohio State. And 21st-ranked Virginia leading 2013 at Louisville. 6:52 to go in the first. One game left to get underway. 14th-ranked Creighton will host Butler tonight at 5. Turning to the SEC Women's Basketball Tournament up in Greenville, South Carolina. Our Lady Dogs are in progress in the first of two games here on semifinal Saturday. The Dogs lead number 1 seed Texas A&M 25-13 through one quarter of play. This game will be followed by the 3 seed Tennessee Lady Vols taking on the 2nd seeded South Carolina Gamecocks. That's going to do it for our look at scores around the nation. Again, our final from Stegman: Dogs fall 89-79 as we head into the SEC tournament next week in Nashville. We'll step aside here and come back as we wait for Coach Green to join us. That's next here on the Bulldog Sports Network.
Introducing the Cash Pop Win One, Give One giveaway, where you get to choose who wins with you. So you could win a new car and tell us who should win one too. How about $5,000 for both you and someone else? Or a year of free rent or mortgage for you and someone you pick? It's up to you. Just play Cash Pop on your phone, online, or register your non-winning ticket from the store at playcashpop.com. Win One, Give One happens February 1st to March 7th. So spread some win around with Cash Pop from the Georgia Lottery. Play responsibly.
Though this basketball season may look a little different, you can still grab an ice-cold, refreshing Dos Equis for tip-off and cheer your team on from anywhere. So no matter where you are, remember nothing goes better with basketball than a smooth and refreshing cerveza. Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
This is Georgia Basketball, sponsored by Progressive. Drivers who save with Progressive save over $750 on average.
Hey Bulldog fans, Coach Smart here. My friends at Georgia United Credit Union now offer Georgia Bulldogs Visa debit cards. Now you can show your team pride everywhere you go and spend. Pick your favorite design and score yours today. Georgia United makes banking easy, friendly, and smart for busy members like myself. Attack the day with a free checking account that pays big interest. It's the smart choice. Visit at gucu.org/Go Dogs for important account information. Insured by NCUA. Georgia United, the official credit union of Georgia Athletics.
Libman makes a difference. The Libman Mop Crew is part of our winning team. The Libman Mop Crew makes sure the hardwood is clean and safe for players every game at Stegman Coliseum. No matter what kind of flooring you have at your home court, Libman has the tools to keep it clean. Our mops, brooms, and brushes are proudly family-made in the USA. Visit Libman.com to see our whole lineup and for a store locator. That's Libman.com.
Back inside Stegman Coliseum, Dogs fall to Alabama this afternoon, 89-79. Let's give you our final game stats, brought to you by Northside Hospital in Atlanta. Their surgeons have decades of experience with routine and complex surgeries. Today, Northside Hospital leads the Southeast in innovative procedures, performing nearly 40,000 robotic surgeries since 2005. Their confidence and compassion await you in Atlanta. Learn more at northside.com. For the game, the Dogs shot 47%, 29 of 62. Alabama finished at 49% for the game, thanks to some red-hot shooting in the second half. At 63% in the second half, they finish at 49 for the game, 33 of 68. The Dogs were 8 of 19 on threes. Alabama finished 10 of 22 on three-point shots. They were 8 of 10 on threes in the second half. Neither team really shot free throws that well. Dogs 13 of 23, 57%. Alabama 13 of 20, 65%. Georgia had 20 turnovers in the ball game, resulting in 21 points for Alabama. The Tide turned it over 22 times, resulting in 22 points for the Bulldogs. Key stat here, Alabama out-rebounds the Dogs by 13, 45-32. Offensive rebounds 14-7 in favor of Alabama. Second chance points 10-2 in favor of Alabama as well. Points in the paint, the Tide with 46, the Dogs with 38. Fast break points 16-7. Georgia wins that category. Alabama had 7 blocks in the game. The Dogs had 1. Georgia had 18 assists to 14 for the Crimson Tide, and 11 steals to 10 in favor of Georgia for Alabama. The leading scorer in the game was Xavier Wheeler for the Dogs with 18, and for Alabama it was Quinterly with 18, as Coach Tom Crean now is joining us from the coach's locker room. And Tom, really a fine first half by your guys, and Alabama just came out hot in that second half and took the lead, and unfortunately we couldn't catch them after
Well,
that.
they did, but it was also 79-82 with under a minute to go, and
Right.
the kid hits a bomb with 2 or 1 seconds on the shot clock. So, as I said to the team, that's the best in the league, and it was 79-82 with under a minute, and we had not played that well. And it was a tale of 3 games, really. I mean, we came out, we totally got after them like we prepared that we would, turning them over, getting into the ball, making passes tough, all that type of stuff. And we had some fumble issues and didn't play as well with the ball, but we never lost the lead. Justin broke momentum again in our way when he hit a big 3. But we didn't answer the call on that second half with the 15-2 run at the beginning. We didn't get it stopped the way that we should have. And whether it's, I mean, we didn't get it stopped. But we always felt like we'd come back. We did. There's too many self-inflicted things in this game. Okay, the guys that play the 1, 2, and 3 spot for Alabama got 27 rebounds. The guys that play the 1, 2, and 3 spots for us, starter and off the bench, got 11 rebounds. That's a big difference. It's a huge difference. It wasn't the turnovers in this game. Both teams had a bunch, but it was the rebounding. And then it was the fact that we only got 7 offensive rebounds in this game. And those things hurt. You've got to be aggressive when you're not as big. Obviously, like we aren't. You've got to continue to be aggressive, go in and grab balls, and continue to play that way, and we were doing that type of thing early. But then the other thing is you just got to control your man better, and we've got to do a better job of staying in front of the ball. We did much better at rotating out to when the ball was coming at us, being in the gaps, and then rotating back out to the shooter in the first half. We made a few mistakes in the second half, but a lot of it we didn't control the ball as well in the second half.
Tom, you talk about the way we started, particularly defensively in that first half, in that even when they were getting shots, they were late into the shot clock.
Yeah, we felt like we could get after them. I mean, they're scoring, and the average possession for them is 14 seconds. Well, that ain't gonna be that way when you're putting a lot of pressure on people. And our guys bought into what we showed them on film with where they turn it over and the individual characteristics of the guys. And the one thing that they can bail you out themselves with is driving the ball to the rim or making an open 3. And then they have Herb Jones and nobody else does. And that's a big difference. Imagine Nick Claxton being here 4 years. Think about that. Nick Claxton would be a senior right now. And Herb Jones is a senior. I mean, think about that. I mean, that's the difference. And he's done a fantastic job there of taking what Avery Johnson and that staff left, making them better, and they're recruiting other guys to go with it. But Herb Jones is a real factor, and he came out in the second half and played even better. And but again, with all that being said, it's still 79-82, and we make our free throws. It's a different story.
Yeah, with about a minute to play, and really we were at the free throw line with a chance to make it a 2-point game.
Yeah, there's. This morning, we shot for about 8 minutes. We walked through for about 10 minutes, and the rest of the time we shot free throws. We shoot free throws ad nauseum. But we don't shoot them with people in the stands and the game on the line type things, and that's where we've just got to be better. We've got to stay with our technique. We've got to stay with the follow-through. We've got to stay with all the things that we do, take the tension out, take the anxiety out. Just step up there with great courage and knock shots down at the foul line. And there's just been too many games this year that our foul shooting has been not even close to what it has to be. And not close to the level of the shooters that we have. Because we'll show it in games and we'll show it on the road and things of that nature. But those are the self-inflicted things that kill you. Not guarding the ball, not getting rebounds, or being in the glass area to get the rebounds, and then not making free throws.
Tom, I know there's no moral victories here, but what is what we were just talking about? It's a one possession game. It's a 3-point game with less than a minute to go, and you're playing the SEC champions. What does that tell you about your team and its ability?
It says we can play with anybody, and we played about halfway decent today. Right? That's what it basically means, and that's what these guys have got to understand. There's still more things that we can control that we're not controlling, and that's our ability to get to the foul line and make the free throws. It's our ability to stay in front of the ball. It's our ability to be more aware on the glass. And it's a physical game, right? It's a physical game, but I mean, we showed that when we don't defer and we get up into you, we can create turnovers and cause problems for the other team, and there's no reason to believe we can't do it next week. I mean, that bottom line is, since last Sunday, it's been about getting ready for Alabama, but at the same time getting ourselves ready to go to Nashville. And that's how we've got to believe. And I hope everybody believes it. The ones that don't, they probably won't see the floor at all, right? But the ones that do believe it, those are the guys that I want to ride with, and I hope we have a team full of those guys that want to be like that. Because there's no question we're getting better. I mean, and that's, I know the record doesn't always indicate it, but we're getting better. We had a great week of getting better. And we just need to have a few more days like that before we go. And let's go see what happens. I really appreciate our fans. I mean, to have the students here, I appreciate Josh Brooks and the administration and the work John Bateman did and so many others, Heather McCormick in our office, to help make this happen. And I'm just disappointed we couldn't give them something to be happy about when they left.
Well, Coach, you bring up the SEC tournament. You will have had one game, as I counted, I think, in about 13 days when we take the floor. Has this come at a good time at this point in the season, to kind of get a little bit of rest?
Probably. Yeah, probably. I mean, it's you lose like we did against South Carolina. You don't like waiting a week to play. But no, we got better. We don't have bad practices. Right? I mean, we just don't. I don't say that arrogantly. We just don't have it. Now, some guys might have bad moments, and we can get them through it. Last year we had some bad practices. But this year we don't have bad practices. Because I'm going to give you a chance to fix it, and then when you don't fix it, you're going to go on the treadmill, or you're going to be out, right? Like, we don't allow anybody to come in and screw up the practice because their attitude is not right. And again, I haven't had to do that very much with this team. This team has been fantastic in how that they prepare. That's why it was so much anxiousness for them to feel a victory like this today. Our fans, but our players, right? Because I know how hard they're working. But too many self-inflicted things become an issue. And against the best teams, the margin for error, we already have a small margin for error size-wise. And the fact that we don't shoot it as well all the time. But the margin for error against the best teams is that much smaller because the best teams make you pay for your mistakes. And they pretty much did that to us today.
Well, Coach, as we head into the tournament, still a lot to be positive about. I know that's the feeling there, so we wish you the best of luck getting ready, and we'll see you in Nashville.
All right, thank you very much. Thanks again to our crowd.
That's Coach Tom Crean from the Georgia Coaches Locker Room as the Dogs finish out the regular season here at home and get ready for the SEC tournament Thursday night.
And Scott, I think you heard from him, the very confident feeling that, look, we can play with anybody, and we showed it here. To have the game that close with a minute 15 or a minute 20, whatever it was to play, with the very best in this conference. And I think that, that Georgia could surprise some people at the SEC tournament. It's going to take, playing like we played in the first half and buying into what the coach and the staff are trying to get across to these young men. But they've shown a willingness to do that, and I believe they will. And I'm looking forward to seeing them up in Nashville. And let's point out, we're going to get to go on the road with them for the first time this year. This will be our
we'll
first.
be there, not with them, but I hear what you're saying.
But it's our.
We'll be in the building where they're playing away from home.
Yeah, and that's the first
certainly
time
exciting
that's
for
happened
us. Yeah,
this year. So
well, last year we go to Nashville, 2-game losing streak, and we had a really good performance in that opener against Ole Miss, beat Ole Miss,
and then everything
to set up the game with Florida, and then we didn't get to play it, and nobody else did, and there was no more basketball the rest of the year. And that's kind of the situation here. We've lost the last 2. But, you go in with a different attitude as you're going in because you feel kind of like you're getting a fresh start. Some people look at it that way, some others don't. But it can be, a fresh start for the team, and you can have new opportunities if you go to Nashville and play well.
And, I think that having the guys on this team that are back for this year that were on that team last year, they know that feeling of going into the SEC tournament. And I think that with the experience of some of the graduate transfers, P.J. Horn, Andrew Garcia, Justin Kier, I'm looking forward to seeing this team play at the SECs in Nashville in person next week.
I'm with you on that. Let's hope it's a good time for Georgia basketball. If you can make it up, certainly. I know it's limited attendance at Bridgestone Arena, but do your best to get there and support the Bulldogs. We'll be with you Thursday night, 7 o'clock Eastern Time. 6:35 will be our airtime for our coverage of the Dogs in the SEC tournament. We hope you can join us. Didn't go the Dogs' way today. Alabama winner over Georgia, 89-79. Just a little bit more of our Regions Locker Room report still to come. That'll be with Zach Jewell in the Piedmont Healthcare Network studios. We'll send it to him after the break. That's going to do it from Athens. For our producer-engineer today, Adam Gillespie, and my partner, Chuck Dowdle, I'm Scott Howard. So long from Stegman Coliseum. We'll see you on Monday night for Bulldogs Live, and then Thursday in Nashville for the SEC tournament, and Georgia playing at 7 o'clock. Zach Jewell's next here on the Bulldogs Sports Network.
Though this basketball season may look a little different, you can still grab an ice-cold, refreshing Dos Equis for tip-off and cheer your team on from anywhere. So no matter where you are, remember nothing goes better with basketball than a smooth and refreshing cerveza. Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Introducing the Cash Pop Win One, Give One giveaway, where you get to choose who wins with you. So you could win a new car and tell us who should win one too. How about $5,000 for both you and someone else? Or a year of free rent or mortgage for you and someone you pick? It's up to you. Just play Cash Pop on your phone, online, or register your non-winning ticket from the store at playcashpop.com. Win One, Give One happens February 1st to March 7th. So spread some win around with Cash Pop from the Georgia Lottery. Play responsibly.
This is Georgia Basketball, sponsored by Progressive. Drivers who save with Progressive save over $750 on average.
Libman makes a difference. The Libman Mop Crew is part of our winning team. The Libman Mop Crew makes sure the hardwood is clean and safe for players every game at Stegman Coliseum. No matter what kind of flooring you have at your home court, Libman has the tools to keep it clean. Our mops, brooms, and brushes are proudly family-made in the USA. Visit Libman.com to see our whole lineup and for a store locator. That's Libman.com.
At BMW, we made the ultimate range of SAVs. And because each of the 7 X-Range sports activity vehicles flawlessly balance dynamic power, spacious size, and sleek design, you can choose from a fleet that fits perfectly into your life. Like the versatile and bold X1, the unbelievably powerful X3, or the luxurious X7. No matter who you are, no matter where you're going, no matter what's next, there's an X to take you there.
Proud sponsor of Georgia Athletics. Visit BMWATL.com for great offers. Go Dogs!
And welcome back inside the Piedmont Healthcare Studios one final time as we take a look at some of the sports going on around the Dogs program. Starting with Coach Joni Taylor's Lady Dogs, currently at 10-5 in the SEC and 19-5 overall. They have the 4th seed in the SEC tournament, and they're playing as we speak with 3 minutes to go in the first half. They lead number 1 seed Texas A&M 30-29. With the win, they'll advance to tomorrow's SEC championship game against either the 2nd seeded South Carolina Gamecocks or the 3 seed Tennessee Lady Vols. That game tomorrow would tip off at 2 p.m. So pregame coverage, if the Dogs make it, will begin at 1:45 with Jeff Dance. But for the Diamond Dogs, they played Game 2 of the weekend set against North Florida earlier today. After dropping yesterday's series opener 7-4, they came back to take Game 2 6-0. That means tomorrow's rubber match will have a scheduled first pitch time of 1 p.m. and pregame coverage on many of these same affiliate stations will begin at 12:40. Finally, for Coach Crean's men's basketball team, we know the time, with the when and where of our next game. We just don't know the who yet. We're locked in as the 10 seed in next week's SEC tournament in Nashville, which means we're playing Thursday night at 7 p.m. So pregame coverage from Bridgestone Arena in the Music City will begin at 6:35 on Thursday night. That's going to do it for us tonight. Again, our final this afternoon. Alabama gets a comeback 89-79 victory to close out the regular season. So for Adam Gillespie Engineering, Chuck Dowdle, and Scott Howard on the mics inside Stegman Coliseum, I'm Zach Jewell, your studio host from the Piedmont Healthcare Studios. We thank you for listening to our presentation of Georgia basketball. And until we talk again on Thursday night in Nashville, go Dogs.
On the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network, you've been listening to the Locker Room Report, presented by Regions. Today's coverage has been brought to you by Regions. Get the Georgia Bulldogs Visa check card from Regions. Visit regions.com/GoDogs to order yours today. And by Dos Equis. Cheer on your favorite team with a Dos Equis. Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. The preceding has been a presentation of the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network, powered by Learfield IMG College and JMI Sports.
Unbelievable. They beat Arkansas and go wire to win the SEC tournament.